Welcome to the RDP Match of the Day.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to RPPFM's live coverage of the 2022 season of the Mornington Peninsula Football Netball League. Today we are at Emil Madsen Reserve in Mount Eliza for the Division 1 clash between Mount Eliza and Dromana. We've got good conditions at the moment. Looking over towards the bay, though, there might be some rain on the way, and there is some rain predicted later on this afternoon. We're hoping very much that it will hold off. AJ King and Daz are in the centre of the ground. We're going to catch up with those guys in just a moment, but it's good afternoon to Michael Voss.
Good afternoon, Craigo, and boy, oh boy, did you see Daz got introduced to Steve Brattle before the Mount Eliza coach, and Daz is, yes, Mr. Brattle, yes, Mr. Brattle. I'm sorry for having a go at your side and saying you were gone, and it's one of those little things. But no, Daz is out there with AJ. We'll get to them in a couple of minutes' time. But what a massive day it is when you consider that we've got 5 games, all of which have an influence as to what happens on the finals. YCW, the only thing that can't really happen is YCW can't lose top spot, and they're going to stay there. But you've got first playing 6th, YCW versus Sorrento. You've got second playing 4th, which is our game, Mount Eliza and Dromana. You've got third playing 5th, which is Bomb Beach and Frankston. You've got 7th playing 8th, which is Pines and Red Hill at Red Hill. And if Pines win that game, they can go into the 5, depending on what happens in the Bombers and Sorrento games. And you would probably, even though I've tipped the Bombers, you probably think that maybe the 5th and 6th might lose, and you might find that Pines will be in tonight with 2 games to go. And 9th play 10th, Rosebud play Mpnfl. Loser of that, more than likely to be relegated. Yeah,
so very important DIV1. DIV2, the other games we'll be keeping an eye on this afternoon. Langwarren are playing host to Rye. Chelsea make the trip to Coringal. Mornington are hosting Tyab. Crib Point will travel to Devon Meadows. Hastings will travel to Pearsdale, and probably one that we would have thought might have been the big game of the round. Somerville take on Seaford at home, but I think Seaford are done for the season and can't make the finals, Vossi. So a little bit of sting taken out of the round in Division 2, but a lot to play for in Division 1. So we are very much looking forward to keeping you up to date with those scores this afternoon. But it looks like the boys are ready for us out on the field as we say good afternoon to AJ and to Daz.
Eliza in what is a mouth-watering clash. Daz 2nd versus 4th. What are you thinking today in terms of your predictions?
Well, it comes down to the midfield battle, mate. I know you guys saw I wasn't there at the game last week, but Dromana's midfield took over, and if they can do it again, Mount Eliza are in a bit of trouble. But I'm looking at one matchup, and for those that saw the preview show, they'll know that it's Finlay Bain v Billy Quigley, and I know Quigley went to half back, as you spoke about last week. I've got a feeling that's not going to happen today because they're going to need to win the ball out of the middle, and I think at the end of the day, whoever can kick straight in these conditions, because we've got the wind at our back right now, which will be a bit of a stitch-up for you boys as the main commentators, because the ball will spend a bit of time on that far wing, but win the ball out of the middle, win the territory battle, and fingers crossed someone kicks straight so Vossi doesn't go volatile.
Yeah, you mentioned the wind conditions there, obviously pushing to the far side of the ground, but the ground conditions are fantastic. It's as dry as what you want, unlike it was last week, although we've had a bit of rain throughout the week. It's held up really well, and like you mentioned, the running game of both sides is going to be whoever's the best on the day will take out.
Yeah, exactly right. I think it's a pretty even contest that we're starting with. The wind's not favouring a side, an end, which is good, because if it dies off, we've still got a neutral contest. So as far as I'm concerned, win the ball, get the territory battle, because in the last game between these two sides, which was at Dromana, 16-point win to Mount Eliza, they won the ground ball, contested possession and clearance by double digits, Dromana, and still lost. So you've got to move the ball forward, and I think the better kicking side on the day is going to get the job done.
Yeah, we're obviously down there last week at Dromana, and Billy Gertz was on fire in the ruck. He's the most dominant ruckman in the competition. Today, he needs to stand up for Dromana because he goes in as clearly the number 1 ruckman on the ground, and I think that will be a determining factor in this game, because in round 1 when we were here, when Khan Haratuku went into the ruck for the Frankston Bombers, he just turned the game just like that. He dominated. So he needs to be on top for Dromana and get their midfield first use.
Yeah, 100%. And I think what Man Eliza are going to take away from it is he had 33 touches and 45 hitouts last time they played. Man Eliza's still on the game. So if you as a coaching group or as a midfield group can expect to maybe lose some hitouts, your midfield can still adjust. But if they can keep him quiet around the ground, then I think they can sacrifice maybe some centre clearances, which they lost by 6 last time they played.
So they've got 2 of the best halfbackers in the competition today. Tom Kelly for Mount Eliza and also Dean Waugh for Dromana. They've been on fire this year.
Yeah.
Both got the left foots as well.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And pinpoint where they're kicking, aren't they? A lot of players in the competition at any level can butcher the ball off half-back, and we're seeing in upper grades now half-backers being tagged. So, yeah, by no means, it's a Mount Eliza boys.
Just as we're going to get
run
swamped
through
by
us,
the
that's
Mount
it.
Eliza boys. They've planned that. Skaggs has definitely planned that. He had the grin on. That was good. They're up and about today, Mount Eliza, aren't they?
Good form and going through. You like to hear the tempo or the voices of the guys, so them running through there and they look like they're ready to go. So if Dromana are a little bit off early, the game could be put away pretty early, but Dromana are hunting for a final spot here, so this is going to be on from the start.
And we're going to get the Chief to come in, the president of the RPP
of everything,
station.
basically.
Chief, what have you got for us?
Jared, Sam and Rob will be umpiring today from the SUA, so 3 umpire scenario today. A lot of experience there, and of course Divo there is the boundary umpire, so wishing them luck today as well.
Now,
Absolutely.
you know Skaggs pretty well. He's definitely led the boys straight through us here, hasn't he?
I'm tipping that's Finn Bane.
He loves a bit of camera time, and we've spoken to him a few times. I reckon it's both times we've been here, or the Mount Eliza boys have been on the TV. He's won the meat tray, so maybe he's just trying to sniff it early, boys.
Yeah, just putting it out there.
Especially considering meat prices are going up, it seems, daily, so there's a lot to play for, but I think we're in agreement that we think Mount Eliza will win, but, geez, I wouldn't be surprised if Dromana get over the line. I know it sounds like I've turned into splinters there, but I'm still going with Mount Eliza.
Absolutely. It's going to be a mouth-watering contest. The players have just done the toss, so they're going back to their sides right now, and we're going to head into the caravan where Craigo and Vossi are standing by, and we'll jump in so we can call this game.
It's up to sort of...
And thanks to AJ and Daz and Suss out on the middle of the field as we get ready for this big clash. And Vossi, both teams are out there, and if Dromana perform anywhere near their level last week, they'll give Mount Eliza a real shake today.
Dromana couldn't have been more impressive last week, the way they went about it, in terms of attitude, the way they basically kept Sereno down the whole game, and they were very, very impressive. Should have won by more, probably, but an 8-goal victory, you'd take that. They're in 4th spot. Their destiny's in their own hands, pretty much. They win today, and they'll go a long way towards keeping their spot in the top 5. They are the 2-time reigning champs, of course, from 2018 and 2019. Of course, no season in 2020 and 2021 wasn't played to a conclusion, but some massive games happening around the peninsula. And, of course, the first time in 107 years that Mornington are playing tie-up this afternoon in Division 2, which is...
Do you see that game, that first game, Vossi? Or you probably know the score, name the players in that particular game with your knowledge of the Mornington Peninsula Football League. But it's hard to believe, isn't it? It's taken that long for them to meet in that division.
I left myself open for that. Yeah, look, it does. And during the footy show, I did say that the Mpnfl probably should have made sure that Mornington played tie-up twice this year, considering they didn't play at all last season. How was it out there, Daz? Good afternoon.
Oh, the mic's not on. I'm off to a good start. No, I'm well, thank you, mate. And yeah, 1905, Mornington Tyre, but looking forward to this one for sure. And I'm very well Aussie, as I'm sure you are as well.
And haven't seen a Hawthorn score yet, but hopefully the Hawks are doing all right.
Yeah.
Their game against
the Suns, which will be a good one.
In reserve, Mount Eliza get a decisive hit out. Josh Gertz is tackled immediately, and we'll get another stoppage.
Good afternoon, AJ.
Good afternoon, boys. It was good to be out in the middle of the ground.
Now, my first question is out there, is Finlay Bane matched up by an opponent today? That's what I want to know.
Probably not. And we'll throw it to the other side. Vossi, what about Dean Moore?
Wow. There's matchups that sides have got to match up on, and Dean Moore's one that sets up a lot for Dromana. So Mount Eliza going to attack. They go to centre half forward. off the pack. A chance still at half forward. The tackle went low, but the umpire said I'm going to ball it up. Sam Dirt's obviously played a fantastic game last week. Dromana set up a lot of drive from sort of their half-back and midfield areas, but today they just need to... they come with the same attitude to what they had last week. They'll be difficult to beat today, the Sharks.
It's going to be a good day all round. Both divisions, tantalising matchups all the way. I like the fact that both teams are playing wide and then wanting to come into the corridor as well. So one to watch for defenders for sure.
Finn Bain was wrapped up there. Sam Gertz, he tries to brush off Max Morney. He does so successfully. Dromana have got this through Josh Gertz. He goes with a little short one, looking for Geordie Andrews. Just come up out of that forward 50. He has the ball on the wing here. He's going to go with a little chiseler. It's got out to Billy Quigley there. Going in short, and they've found Dan Gormley right in front of the coach's box.
Outstanding kick. Oh, that's too easy.
Gormley sells a bit of candy. He goes at goal. Goes over the top. Saligo trying to run onto it here. The ball's gone out, and we'll have a throw in.
Of course, we talk about Dean Moore and we talk about Finlay Bain, but how can you forget Shane Tennant? Like Geordie Andrews took that mark and 35 metres down the ground. Shane Tennant was just saying, well, you kick it to me and I'm going to eat it up and go straight back the other way. So they've got to try and avoid him as well.
Absolutely. Ball thrown in. Billy Gertz, Morney do battle. And it's going to trickle out once again. We haven't even moved a metre after that throw in.
Was a little bit worrying for Mount Eliza because Dromana had numbers on this wing. They almost could have handballed their way out, but it was a good pass to Geordie Andrews. Probably should have hit his target there at half forward, but Dromana are looking okay around the contest, which is the start you need as the away side.
It's going to be exited out of the Dromana forward 50. Went up to Will Antoni. Ball just bouncing around. Dean Moore, he goes with a little chiseler at goal, but he's pushed it across the face. It'll go through for behind. So Dromana on the board after nearly 3 minutes. They're one behind. Mount Eliza yet to score.
Numbers again. I think he had Nathan Saligo on the inside as well. They could have walked that in. Unfortunate that he missed, but Mount Eliza are on notice right now. The front of the stoppage they need to start protecting.
Dromana have started very well here, boys. They've come with really good intensity at the contest so far. It's a tackle for illegal disposal there, and they'll take the free kick and they'll load themselves back up into attack again just to score update in the AFL. Hawthorn up by 13 points in the early stages against Gold Coast in Tassie, so a good start for the Hawks there, Daz. As Dromana looking to try and find an open man inside attacking 50, but the ball once again goes towards the line and goes over for a boundary throw-in. And for a late winter's day, this is a beautiful day, isn't it? It's turned into an absolute cracker.
Yeah, it's getting better and better by the minute, isn't it? But speaking of needing to get better minute by minute, Mount Eliza are starting this game second to the ball.
The results can go a particular way. They can go another way. It's just that the ladders can look so many different ways and connotations with that tonight. And this is one of the biggest games of all in Division 1 this afternoon. Probably the other one at Cairns Avenue in Bondi Beach is the other one. It's probably another significant one, but they're all significant in their own right. Here's an opportunity for Dromana to go forward. They're fiddling around with it in the centre of the ground. Now they will go with a chip kick towards half forward. The ball was knocked away. An opportunity for Mount Eliza to rebound. They will go backwards to try and go forwards. And now there's a beautiful kick towards half forward. Was that a push? The umpire said no. Picked up by Dean Moore. He kicked it towards half back. He's got a teammate there. He can get it and go. But he was run down from behind. There was no talk there whatsoever. Now a short pass towards half forward and the ball goes out of the reach of, I think that's Lachlan Hodder down there. In fact, it's another number down there. But that's over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Was saying in the pre-game, boys, last time these two played in round 7, Dromana won the contested ball clearances and ground ball gets by double digits, but they lost inside 50s and the ball was going nowhere. They're starting to mess around with it again.
Absolutely, as we welcome the radio listeners onto RPPFM 98.7, 98.3. So it's about 60 metres out from the Mount Eliza goal here.
Geordie Andrews is the furthest player towards Dromana's goal, and he's standing just about on a half-forward flank. Would just like to see him inside 50 and have another player where he is currently. We've got the first goal.
Finn Bain on his left.
Who else?
heading towards the boundary line has split the middle, and Mount Eliza get there first on the board.
Even though they just conceded a goal there, the thing that I was just looking behind the play there just to see whether Shane Tennant was loose, and they actually had Ben Tovey it was who was matched up on him there. So they've actually got the one-on-one contests in their front half, which is what they want. You can't leave Shane Tennant on his own, that is for sure.
No, absolutely not. And it'll take a little bit for the players to sort themselves out. They both look settled, though. Not a lot of nerves. It's just Mount Eliza are going quick and direct, and Dromana are working their way around in circles, but it'll clear up as the day goes on.
Centre break for Dromana. They go towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Ball falls to ground. Now they've got the opportunity to go here, Mount Eliza. They can hurt you going back the other way, but they turn the ball over. Now the kick comes back inside attacking 50, looking there and not finding Gertz, and the ball goes over the line. That was Sam, over the line for a boundary throw-in. 1 straight 6, Mount Eliza, 1 behind 1 point, Dromana. And that is on the Premier Traditional Homes scoreboard. This is the Battery Water Mornington Match of the Day, live on RPPFM. And Craig, you got the updates for us early on?
Sorrento, Red Hill 7 are leading Pines 2, Bond Beach 2-1-13. Frankston Bombers yet to score in Div 1.
So the ball's on the half-back flank for Mount Eliza. They go long, up past the wing, looking for a target, but no mark taken. Ball's on the ground. Tackle applied by the Dromana player, and we'll get another stoppage thanks also to our sponsors, Icon Sports Melbourne, Bridgestone Select Mornington,
Bendigo Bank.
Also the ones that Michael Voss reared off just before, big supporters of local footy. This ball thrown up. Gertz getting his hand on the ball early. He's buttering up his work. He gets a quick handball out. Going up to the middle of the ground looking for Saligo. He's able to get past his opponent. They've gone out wide looking for Marcazzani. He goes by hands to Gormley. To Wheeler. His ball's chipped off, but they've been able to replay that. Dromana over to Slattery. He goes with a quick kick at goal and misses to the near side. So Dromana are peppering here, boys, but they just can't put it on the scoreboard in terms of the goals column.
Nathan Saligo there, 2 of the best handballs you're likely to see, a forward one and a sideways handball that's putting teammates into space. At some point, they need reward for effort here, Dromana, because they've started a lot better than the scoreboard suggests with just the 2 behinds.
It's a great intercept mark for Billy Quigley. He's going to go in with a short one, but that's chipped off. Going through his Tom Small. Here's a couple of bounces. He looks up. What's he got? He's going to put the ball out in front of Will Tony and tell him just to run onto it. Ball goes over the back. Can he run onto it here? What can he do? Just paddles the ball out in front. A little bit of an opportunity going begging there for Mount Eliza, but he's going to win the free kick. He's hemmed in on the boundary line. He looks inboard, looking for Declan Cole, and he takes the mark, and he'll go back and line up for Mount Eliza's second goal at the nearly 9-minute mark of the first quarter, Michael Voss.
Yeah, probably the second inside 50 that Mount Eliza's had, and their opportunity to score their second goal, whereas Dromana have had probably, 5 or 6 inside 50s early on in this game and only scored a couple of points. So big opportunity for Mount Eliza to get their second goal and to take an early lead of 10 points in this game. Has the shot. Lays back on the kick. Just didn't really seem to show much care with that kick there. The Mount Eliza player in it was Declan Cole,
yeah,
was the player, but the
real laconic walk-in, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do. Was there a set play that he was trying? I'm not really sure, but the ball's in the Mount Eliza forward line. There's a free kick.
I think it's going Dromana. Yep.
It will go back here, and Dromana will take the free kick from fullback. It's Billy Gertz with the ball. He goes in short. Don't let Ruckman kick in the back line because he's put his mate well and truly under the pump. And the ball about 30 metres out from the goal that Dromana are attacking. And, it's even more so that rule applies in back line, AJ.
Absolutely, Voss. You can see Steve Bradell just patrolling the boundary line, but Dromana are going to exit their defensive 50. They look up to the wing, but standing tall is Max Morney. He was in the way. He goes by hand. Can Mount Eliza muster something here? They go inside forward 50. They couldn't take a mark. Billy Quigley with his head over the footy. Ball's just bouncing around here at the moment. Strong tackle applied, but he didn't have the footy. And Mount Eliza are going to go back once again and line up for their second goal. Their 1 straight 6. playing Dromana, 2 behinds on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
Going to give a lot of credit to Lockie Hodder, I think it was, in that contest. He was absolutely at a disadvantage when that ball came in and made a contest, brought the ball to ground. It's the little defensive acts, Vossi. They go unnoticed and unappreciated by a lot. But if this goes through, it's largely thanks to that effort in the forward 50.
The 1%ers, they're really, I suppose that's what you're talking about there. So that's
2 kicks from 40 now that have not made the distance.
And that was very low, and that was easily killed off in that goal square. Kick out towards half-back. Mark has taken there for Dromana, and it's been taken by Tom Crimmins, who's got it at half-back. He goes down the line looking there and finding good sliding effort, and a mark taken by Ben Tovey, who's got it now. He goes down the line towards a 2-on-1 contest. Geordie Andrews is out pointed there because he had Shane Tennant to deal with as well as his own opponent. And Tennant did well just to occupy Andrews in that contest to keep him out of it. Mark taken on centre wing. It's marked by James Hammond, who's got it. So he goes long as he possibly can towards centre half forward. No mark taken. A chance for Dromana to try and clear. They will get the ball out of trouble. They're trying to. They will get it out now. Billy gets a hand pass. Now they'll get it out. Far side of the ground. A chip pass. Mark taken. They can get it and go, Dromana. They go down the line towards half forward. And, in fact, just the attacking side of centre wing. About 75 metres out from their goal. The ball's gone out of play for a boundary throw. Mount Eliza are 1-1-7. Dromana are 2 behinds. Big game in the context of the season. They were in round 16. And Dromana could just about tie up their spot with a win this afternoon, boys.
I like Billy Gertz listening to our man Vossi. Didn't kick it out of the back line at all, set up a teammate. So it's good to know the messages are getting through, Vossi.
Josh Gertz has started on fire for Dromana. He certainly worked his way into senior footy. Ben Tovey went up, couldn't take the mark. Bailey Welsh on the ground for Mount Eliza. He gets a clearing handball. Over to Kelly. He goes out wider. Mount Eliza looking to come back through the middle of the ground. They go by hand, but they're going to turn it over. The player there for Dromana was Adam Harris. Just fumbling around with it here at the moment, Dromana. Billy Gertz goes backwards. Almost run down, but they go inside forward 50, and who is standing there? That man, Shane Tennant. They've been able to push it wider, which has been good ball movement from Mount Eliza. Hammond goes up, takes the mark. Hodder goes in. He goes over the top of Antony, and that's not a great kick as a forward there, boys. It's gone over his head, and Dromana are going to be able to repel here. They go outside looking for Billy Quigley.
Not sure if the 15-metre kick sideways is the way to go on this ground. They got to go direct.
Billy Gertz has got it here now. He's going to go in short. He's found the player there in Tom Crimmins.
He started well too.
So they're trying to go with the short passes. Dromana, they're going to go up looking for a target in Andrews, but he's got 2 with him already. Cole, can he run onto it? Harris. Taylor runs onto it for Dromana. He's taken down, but there's no down the field free kick. Terry Wheeler goes up in a battle there with McDonald Girolami. Ball goes out wide, looking for Hanneman for Dromana. He's pushed off it, but he's butted up for his second opportunity. Josh Gertz goes in with a little short kick and has found Harris just on the 50-metre mark here for Dromana. They're 2 behinds. Mount Eliza 1-1-7.
He doesn't look like he wants to have a shot at all. So this will be top of the goal square, I suspect, or he's given it off.
Sam Gertz goes past, gets the handball. He goes long to the top of the goal square. Who can take a mark? Ball over the back. Quick shot from Geordie Andrews, and it's Nis to the near side. And Dromana move on to 3 behinds. Mount Eliza 1-1-7.
I know Shane Tennant's playing as the man behind the ball, but in that contest, running back with the flight, he had to stay and guard the crummers from Dromana. He was lucky he wasn't exposed then.
There's an opportunity. There's a quick kick. And I think, was that Josh Gertz who put that one through? It was. So that's Dromana's first goal, 1-3-9. Mount Eliza 1-1-7 as a result of that kick-in error by Mount Eliza. So a good start for Dromana, but they did this last week, Daz. They started off, had a lot of shots in the first quarter, and kept Sorrento scoreless. But Mount Eliza have obviously got one on the board now, but they're in the game, Dromana.
Yeah, they're looking a lot more solid forward of the ball, aren't they? I know Geordie Andrews needs to be the deepest player, but needs to be inside 50 at all times to not let Shane Tennant get over the back. But if you can create turnovers in your forward half, last time these two teams met, they had 10 turnovers. in their defensive half, Dromana. If they can create those turnovers and not cause them, they'll go a long way to winning this one.
Ball back to the middle. 2-point margin in favour of Dromana. Massive game in the context of Mpnfl Division 1 AFL Southeast competition for 2022. We're just about through the home and away season. Still a couple of weeks to go. Still some water to go under the bridge. And still some cases to be hidden away come finals time, I guess, boys. If you're a little sniffle or two, maybe the rat test might be out of stock somewhere, but
I think I'll be right, Vossi. I've had the COVID, so I'll be right to battle on through the finals as the ball's thrown in.
more talking about the players there, AJ, but that's all right.
Well, who's going to call the footy, Vossi?
We've all got a battle on.
So the ball's gone inside the forward 50 for Mount Eliza, but it's repelled for Dromana. They go out to Billy Gertz. He's going to get a free kick for over the shoulder. Put his body on the line there. 117 playing 139. Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
Love the apology from the Mount Eliza player there. Just a calm tap on the back after pole-axing him.
So Billy Gertz goes backwards.
Even
ball's going to come into the middle here to Riley Davis. Gone over his head.
So even Dromana now are not sure of themselves going forward, which is a huge problem the longer this game goes on. If Mount Eliza can suffocate them in their forward half, they'll create a turnover and create a score.
So Davis goes back into the middle of their defensive 50, Dromana. They're going out wide looking for Billy Gertz. The run's starting to come for the Dromana Tigers here.
He's had plenty of it, Billy Gertz, earlier.
So was his brother and Josh Gertz.
And they haven't moved since Billy Gertz got that free kick a minute ago.
So he goes in the middle of the ground looking for his other brother in Sam. That was Gertz. And I think it probably followed up with the player there in Jay Hutchison. He goes inside forward 50. Over the back is Slattery. He can't run onto it. Good defensive work from Kelly from Mount Eliza. He just goes off the deck. Needed to pick the ball up there, the player. He ran over it. Hanneman by hand. Hutchison goes back. Davis puts his teammate under pressure there in Dean Waugh. Fierce contest here at Emil Madsen Reserve in Mount Eliza. Free kick's going to come here, going the way of Dromana, and it'll go to Sam Gertz.
Boys, when you're out there on the ground, was there any breeze at all?
Yeah, heading over
appreciate
to
you
the
listening
far
to us,
side, Vossi.
Yeah, appreciate you listening in.
The fact that, no, I was not listening to you because I couldn't hear you out there because I was actually doing something else. But was there a breeze?
It's just blowing over towards the impact advertising signs. Don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I have. So not a lot to affect kicking at goal, Vossi, so shouldn't really be playing a part for the rest of the afternoon.
There's an opportunity. Gormley around the corner goes with a high kick towards the top of the goal square. Shane Tennant will just about eat this up down there if he could take the mark. He couldn't. The ball off the pack and over the line for a boundary throw-in.
Never thought I'd say this nearly 20 minutes into a first quarter, but both teams look more dangerous moving the ball via hand rather than by foot. It's just been a bit of a strange opening, this one.
Yeah, it's I guess it's probably just lacking that polish going forward at the moment, both sides. Know the importance of this game. More so for Dromana, even if Mount Eliza lost a couple coming home, I think they've got enough of a gap where they're going to finish top three, boys. Do we agree on that?
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Vossi.
If I've learned anything, Vossi, it's not go with predictions too far down the road, because if Mount Eliza lose this game, I'm spending the night in the skip, which is going to be an interesting experience. It's just a wheelie. It's getting worse and worse by the second, but...
So Mount Eliza looking to come out of trouble.
Good kick.
Go towards half-back. That was a good pinpoint pass, and the mark has been taken by Brendan Nelms.
Both teams wanting to move the ball via hand. Probably they're realising it's more dangerous as well. Not sure if a 3-on-2 is the right option.
Pack of players one up, no mark taken. Dromana looked to try and chip the ball around to go forward. The mark has been taken by Jaden Tooth.
Shane Tennant all on his own, 45 metres.
And they realise that Shane Tennant's the danger down there, and they've got to just try and go around him. They can't afford to go through him. They've got to try and go around him, and it's taking a long time. And for that reason, Dromana might find it hard getting the ball through the open goals unless they can find Shane Tennant, make him accountable all day. There's a kick down towards half forward. Mark taken. Or in fact, it's off the boot anyhow. It's a mark that when they played on anyhow, so may as well have been paid a mark. Off the pack, a chance here for the Dromana side. They go towards half forward.
Yes, sir.
Forward pocket. The mark's been taken by that man in Shane Tennant, who is ever dangerous down there, AJ.
He certainly is. He's gone out wide at a Watts. It's going by hand at the moment. Mount Eliza, they're going to look inboard. They've found Scagularini there.
They're out on this far side. Oh, he's just missed them. Good kick, though.
Kick. Hitting up Hammond at centre half forward. He's going to go over the top quickly. Can he get the player running onto it? Going back. He can't take the mark. Dean Moore mopping up for Dromana. Quigley. He comes out looking for Sweetenham. Who's going to run onto it? Mount Eliza look like they're going to get back first. McDonald Girolami.
2-on-1, no Shepherd.
He goes inside forward 50. No mark taken. Quigley off the ground. He goes by hand. Over to Dean Moore. He goes by foot. He's always going to go by foot, boys. He's found Dan Gormley. He's going to look out wide once again. So they've switched the ball right out to the far side. Terry Wheeler. He goes up looking for Slattery. He finds him. He goes by hand looking for Taylor. He's going to go inside forward 50 with a little chisel looking for Andrews, but it lands at his feet. Kelly was trying to break through from Mount Eliza. Skaggs Larini, he's been dispossessed there, and it's a bit of stacks on, boys, and we're going to get a stoppage inside the centre square here.
We don't have it in front of us, but I'm confident in saying the kicking efficiency going inside 50, Vossi, between the two teams would be lucky to be 40 right now. It's where both teams are breaking down.
And I'm guessing that possession will mean for Dromana when they try and attack through Shane Tennant and they find him on every occurrence in a 2-on-1 situation. It probably doesn't help those stats when you read them later on. Here's an opportunity for Dromana to come back forward towards inside attacking 50. Good tackle applied. Keeping the ball in there for Dromana. The umpire says ball it up. Crago, any scores from around the grounds?
In Division 2, Langwarren 6 behinds, Rye 1. Karingal 2-1-13, Chelsea 1-1-7. Pearsdale 1 behind, Hastings yet to score. And Somerville 3-1-19, Seaford 4 behinds.
And Vossi will be happy to know that Hawthorn leading Gold Coast by 14 points, 5 minutes into the second quarter, I should say.
That's good to know as the ball is thrown up by the umpire. Free kick to Dromana. We're not going to have too much time on, I wouldn't have thought. We've already had 3.5 minutes of time on, but I'm guessing maybe another probably 2 minutes in this opening quarter. So a late goal here to Dromana will
And a shot, Billy.
Will be good if they can get it. They'll be 8 points in front if he's successful with his kick. He's had a good first quarter, aside from that one kick that he put his mate under the pressure in the back line. Mopped up plenty of opportunities for Mount Eliza to score in the back line. Now he's got an opportunity to hit them where it hurts most, right on the scoreboard. He has the shot. He hooks it out to the right or drifts out to the right, and it stays there and through 4-1 behind. So Dromana up to 1-4-10, Mount Eliza 1-1-7. We've played 24 minutes in the opening quarter.
I've never understood why players look bemused when they run right and kick right. It's extraordinary. It was a bit of a weird run-up, wasn't it, from Billy? Never really looked sure of himself, and in his last couple of steps, he just seemed to slow down and lost all momentum.
So the siren sounds for quarter time. Mount Eliza 1-1-7, Dromana 1-4-10. Premier Traditional Home Scoreboard. Thanks also to our sponsors, Icon Sports Melbourne, Bridgestone Select Mornington, Bendigo Bank, Jones Lapino Real Estate, and all our other station sponsors. We're going to head to a break, and we'll be back right after this.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spitfire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Need your property painted, but you don't want to just trust any painter with your asset? Give Wow Factor Painting Solutions a call. We're based on the Mornington Peninsula and specialise in high-quality painting solutions. We are proud members of the Master Painters Victoria and the Dulux Accredited Program. For a free quotation, visit wowfactorps.com.au or call 0475 448 285. Wow Factor Painting Solutions, a station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match, because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
At SJS Accounting Strategies in Mornington, our mission is a simple one: to make running your business easier, to get money-related challenges out of the way so you can focus on growing your business. It doesn't matter which business sector you're from, our commitment to helping you grow will be exactly the same. Why? Because our team loves helping businesses achieve their goals. Contact SJS Accounting on 5975 0488 or visit www.sjsaccountingstrategies.com.au. A station sponsor.
Welcome back here to the Emil Madsen Reserve. Quarter time in the match of the day this afternoon. Second place, Mount Eliza. Fourth place, Dromana. Dromana at quarter time up by 3 points. Goals hard to score. Both defences well and truly on top. End to end without having the polish to get multiple goals in that first quarter. It's Dromana 1-4-10 and Mount Eliza a 1-goal 1-7. Goals for Mount Eliza there for Finlay Bain, and the one goal kicker I haven't actually put
Joshy Gertz, I think it was.
It was too. Josh Gertz was the player who kicked the goal, so he was the goal kicker there, and his brother had a very good first quarter as well. Yeah, interesting to see Sam playing down a little bit in the forward line too, like more so than what we have seen him play at times this year.
Yeah, well, they threw Billy Quigley to half-back last week, didn't they? So not afraid to move the magnets around, which I don't mind. Both teams have got different strategies between the arcs. Vossi, Dromana want to go by foot, and Mount Eliza want to go by hand, both with mixed results. And, yeah, it's very, very difficult to come by scores. The kicking efficiency inside 50 has been pretty poor from both teams, which has been unfortunate because between the arcs it's looked good.
So we'll get some updates from Quago shortly in regards to what's happening around the grounds with some games, but a massive round happening in the round of Peninsula football today. Round 16, of course, 2 rounds to go in Peninsula League. Round 17 in Division 2, 1 round to go there after today.
And if you take away top spot in both divisions, we don't know both who's going to make finals or where they're going to stand. So an entertaining finish is all that we can ask for, and it's what we've got, which is outstanding.
Yeah, it's clear cut, definitely in Division 2, and it's pretty clear cut at the moment. Things can change, but you'd have to say we've got 2 clear favourites right as we speak at quarter to 3 on Saturday, the 6th of August, which is 6 weeks away from the end of the season.
Absolutely, and we're going to cross down to Peter Sosovic and AJ, who's been out at the Dromana huddle.
Yeah, so I was just in the Dromana huddle there listening to Matty Price, and he was talking about accountability. Dromana have been fantastic so far. They've been talking about really cutting off Finn Bain and making sure he doesn't get the easy ball. They've been talking about their ball movement. They were pretty happy with it. They were happy with the skill set they brought in the first quarter, but they just wanted them to lower their eyes a bit going inside forward 50, and they can hit up Geordie Andrews a bit easier. But all in all, Dromana Huddle, pretty happy with how they've started.
And we're back. Thank you to AJ down there at the Dromana Huddle. And what are you looking for from Mount Eliza since we've heard about Dromana in this second quarter? I don't think they'd be too upset about how they're setting up behind the ball, Vossi, but they need to look more threatening inside forward 50.
Dromana?
Mount Eliza.
Mount Eliza. Yeah, look, Mount Eliza probably had less of the inside 50s that quarter. And, yep, out to you, Sas.
Craig, you were just in the middle of the Mount Eliza huddle there. What was the word coming out of that huddle?
Very pleased with the first quarter. Obviously, they want to be a little bit harder at the contest, and it certainly looks like the...
So, yeah, both sides have got that penetrating sort of backman, Shane Tennant for Mount Eliza, Dean Moore for Dromana, and they just need to be able to make sure they go through those players. And Dromana, just once they get the ball, they're afraid to go towards Shane Tennant. They've got to try and go around him, which means all the Mount Eliza players are doing is just shifting over, and they're confident in the fact that Dromana are trying to go around them at the moment. But we're just about to start the second quarter in this huge game in Division 1 this afternoon. Cannot be underestimated, this game. All the games in Division 1 mean a significant amount in terms of who finishes where and who's going to go down and who's going to make the finals. It's a massive week, round 16 of this great competition that we've got here in Division 1 of AFL Southeast. Mpnfl is a high kick by Billy Gertz towards half forward, leading out Shane Tennant. He was matched up by an opponent there. He got tackled. They get the ball out. Finlay Bain, who doesn't have an opponent there, incidentally. The high kick down the line towards the half-forward line. No mark taken. Ball on the ground, and the umpire letting play go on. Now it's over for a boundary throw-in.
Yeah, Jaden Tooth was the spare man behind the ball in that first contest, but at what point do Dromana need to ask themselves, does the extra player at the stoppage make up for how dangerous Shane Tennant's been? At this moment in time, it looks not that worth it at the moment, considering the low score, but one to keep an eye on for sure.
As Mount Eliza get their ball movement going, they go inside forward 50, and they've found a target straight away in Will Antoni, and he will go back and line up for their second goal. Boys, I was out listening to the Matty Price quarter-time speech, and he was pretty happy with how Dromana have started. He used the word accountability, and he was quite happy. They just sort of said, going forward, they just need to lower their eyes a bit and hit up Geordie Andrews rather in a one-on-one rather than a two-on-one, and also the fact that they just want to check Finn Bain any time they can. They don't want him to run past and get the easy ball.
There's a long kick and a point scored on that occasion by Will Antoni. It was so 1-2-8 plays 1-4-10.
My response to that address, especially towards the hitting up Geordie Andrews, then he cannot be the last man in the chain at half forward. He needs to be the last link of the chain, always inside forward 50. Because if they're going to kick down the line, they're going to need a taller target than him to counteract Shane Tennant coming across. So Geordie can be dangerous in a one-on-one situation, needs to stay inside 50 at all times for mine.
When he came out and took a mark 70 metres out from goal, Shane Tennant was sitting there 30 metres out from goal saying, well, I'm going to eat this up, so don't kick it to me. Basically daring him to try and kick it down his throat.
Spot on. He needs to be taking marks inside 50, not delivering them.
Dromana go forward to attacking 50, but it's taken away from Mount Eliza. They will get the ball out towards centre half back, and now they can get it and go down the line. Beautiful kick. Two hands to beginners by Will Antoni. Got to go two hands, Daz, at all times.
100%.
Long kick, unless your name's Hose from Tiber a couple of weeks ago. He did a magnificent job, Will Hose, a couple of weeks ago. There's a kick and there's a mark. 25, 30 metres out from goal, directly in front. And I think it might be James Hammond who's got the ball.
It's a pretty easy game when you can hit targets inside 50, isn't it, Vossi? The game, a very complicated sport, becomes a whole lot more simple.
Geordie Rouse has it, Vossi.
It is Geordie Rouse with the ball. My apologies.
Anyone want to put the commentator's curse on him?
Goal.
Go on, Splinters.
Goal. Told you. Come on, Cuddles.
All right. No worries, mate.
25 out directly in front.
Don't miss this, son.
Has the shot, and he has put it through.
That's three messages from Vossi that the players are listening to.
It's
He's the players' caller after all, let's be honest.
Yeah, look, I'm a man of the people, absolutely.
Absolutely.
A goal to Mount Eliza. They're second. They are 2 goals, 1-13. In fact, is it 2-2-14 to 1 goal, 1 goal 4 actually, 10. 2-2-14 to 1-4-10. Margin is 4 points here in the match of the day, live on RPPFM.
Yeah, I mean, Dromana didn't do a whole lot wrong. They allowed the outside player, the outside wingman at the half-forward flank to get out into space, but from there, behind the ball, they didn't do a whole lot wrong, and you just got to tip your cap to the opposition and go again. They need this clearance. Don't want to let a lead go out, especially in such a low-scoring game.
Billy Quigley trying to run onto it for Dromana. Ball hasn't moved far from the centre circle. Wheeler, he's put his body over it. He goes back and gets the ball out by hand. It's gone out to that man in Billy Quigley who started well. He goes inside forward 50. Who can take a mark? The player there in Tuvi was trying. But it's been escorted out, and we'll get a throw in inside the forward 50 for Dromana. Crago, have you got some scores from around the grounds?
Yeah, the relegation battle, Rosebud 13, Edithvale Aspinall 15. Sorrento lead YCW 21-17. Red Hill lead Pines 22-16. And Bond Beach 32, Frankston Bombers 15.
And good news for the Hawks in the footy. Vossi up by 19 points with Josh Ward kicking his second AFL goal only a minute or so ago against the Suns at UTAS.
Seems to be over his concussion now and going along quite nicely in his development, young man.
So pressure's being applied here in the Dromana forward 50. Umpires found a free kick, and it's going to go the way of Mount Eliza, so they're going to get out of their defence.
Geez, they're spreading from this contest really quickly. They've got a spare out here.
Bailey Welsh, he goes by foot.
Didn't go to him, but they had it.
Looking for Foss, but the ball's over the back. D Moore, he's going to run to it. He wants to go onto his left. He kicks around the corner, but standing all alone is that man in Bailey Welsh, who's one of the best on the ground so far. He's going to look and go backwards. He had Tennant standing there, but he's gone further than that. Ball's in Elliot Simmons' hands. He's gone wider. Found Watts. He goes for a bit of a gallop down the wing looking for Hammond. Ball comes off his knee. And it's out of bounds in front of the signs there, and we'll get a throw in, Michael Voss.
We will indeed. 4 points is the margin here in the match of the day. Mount Eliza in front.
We talk about it's one of the only sports in the world where every ground is a different size. Mount Eliza looks so much more dangerous when they're switching the ball and playing a lot wider than Dromana were, and they're spreading from the contest really well. So if Dromana don't fix up how they're playing on the outside of every contest, boys, Mount Eliza are going to use their run, and if they clean up their efficiency inside 50, Dromana are going to be in trouble.
They play this ground so well, they don't lose too often here. You go back over time. Powerful side here at home, the Mounties.
Looking forward to Vossi's history lesson later on. It's going to be outstanding.
Wow, yeah. I'll go back a fair way, Daz.
1905, last I heard, or 1915 for Mornington.
Yeah, Suss's great-grandfather was at the game that Mornington Tire won, so...
He was also the president of everything back then too, which is good.
And coincidentally, his great-grandfather was first name was Frank.
Was it? His last name Gallagher?
I'm not sure about that, but his name was definitely Frank.
The ball's thrown in on the far side. Quick kick going inside the forward 50 for Mount Eliza, coming out, claiming the mark, but it wasn't paid. Over to Foss. He goes on the left. He goes with a long one. Going into the goal square, but he's pushed that to the far side.
There's AJ, there's that wind in play. Just pushed it left. It looked pretty good off the boot, but just kept fading away like a good old outswinger. So if you're kicking towards the right-hand side, you really need to aim for the inside of the right goal post.
Must Charlie bring the ball back in for Dromana. He's gone out the far side. Played a lot of the game out there, Dromana.
Where's the cheese platter today?
Oh, now Vossi's asking the real questions.
Just throwing it out there, AJ.
Prices have gone up, Michael.
They probably have, actually.
You know how much cheese costs? Cheapers.
Actually, someone said that onions apparently gone up. That you don't get as much onion on a Subway footlong.
Oh, God. Let's go back to the footy.
Everything. The point is, everything's going up.
Bailey Welsh, he wraps around the back. He goes by foot. That's a great kick, finding Hodder.
Look how good they look on the outside of the
Welsh.
contest.
He's finding Foss.
Started fantastically in this quarter.
He's going to go in short, finding the man that's just come onto the ground in Will Antoni. He goes long. Ball over the back. Who's going to run onto it? James Hammond tries to burst through over to the player that had the ball on the wing, and he's kicked the goal. So, Eliza, they move on to 3-3-21. Dromana 1-4-10, and the Redlegs are just starting to get their ball movement going. Michael Vossen are looking a lot more dangerous this quarter, going inside forward 50.
It's like a bad marriage, isn't it, boys? We're just starting to see some separation, which is not what we're looking for, especially if you're a Dromana fan.
Yeah, it's depending on how these results go, like Dromana, if they lose this today, can be under pressure again. So that give you a bit of hope with Sereno's score before. I know they're only a goal up, and I know it's only early, but they've obviously got a bit of a rocket, and they've responded of sorts so far.
Very early, Vossi. We'll see how it goes throughout the game. And just a shout out to Damon Quigley, listening all the way from NT again. So he's having a cold one in the pool. And Sam Gertz, he's going to run onto it for Dromana. He's got plenty of space, leaving that stoppage. He goes in looking for Geordie Andrews. He can't take the mark. The defensive pressure has been good for Mount Eliza and their ball movement. Over to Kelly. He's under a bit of trouble, but he gets the handball out. Stuck in the head, but he was able to get through. Smother applied. Who can run onto it? Who can get a goal here for Dromana? They need something just to get this quarter going. Umpire hasn't called for anything yet. Now he has. We'll get a stoppage about 15 metres out from the Dromana goal.
Jeez, it was messy, but the defence there was really good. I'm not sure who it was who gave that hospital hand pass, but they're going to owe his teammates one, and if they can clear here, they'll be all right.
So they're going to clear Mount Eliza through Welsh.
That's too easy.
Balls cut off there to Josh Gertz.
And that's just not good.
He's fancying his chances from out there, young Josh Gertz.
You backing him in from here?
No. I think it's probably a little bit too
Cop
far
that, Josh.
out. It's a pretty difficult angle.
Hawthorn up by 27 points, boys.
And AJ proves himself correct. Ball goes through for a point. Good call, mate. We haven't got a lot wrong today.
They move on to 1-4-11. Mount Eliza 3-3-21. Nearly 11 and a half minutes gone on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. Thank you to our sponsors, Icon Sports Melbourne, also to Jones Lapino Real Estate, Bridgestone Select Mornington. Also, this is the coverage brought to you by Battery World of Mornington, as Finn Bain has it once again.
Oh, it should have been 50.
He's gone out wide. Spoiled there. Small, he goes by hand. Gormley, he's dumped. Billy Quigley with the footy. He's been fantastic for Dromana. Slattery over the top to Quigley. Quigley by hand. Gormley by hands. Over to Geordie Andrews. Can they just get some separation? No, they can't. Ball's just bouncing around. Mount Eliza get a clearing kick. They're going up looking for Rouse. He's going to get a free kick there for in the back against Jaden Tooth. That was there.
We'll continue the Subway references. Vossi, there's a bit of mayo on that, but it was definitely there. Be like Ash Johnson last night against Harrison Petty.
You read my mind on that one.
Good to know we're on the same page,
Harrison Petty had the hands there, but at no stage did he push him, and Ash Johnson absolutely milked that for all it's worth. He dived, in other words.
I've started something.
Anyone who wants to actually argue the point with me on that, I'll tell you what, you won't win the argument. And I know you'll agree, and I know Suss will agree because you're both Melbourne supporters.
Oh, boy. Well, we know where Vossi stands, which is good.
It was a really really good last quarter, like end to end. It was great last night, wasn't it?
It was a fantastic game. Like this one is going to be, I've got a feeling.
Yeah, just one side's just got to find the key to unlock the door and trying to get things happening with the goals on the board. That was a good kick there by Dean Moore. It was out towards the centre wing. Now they can go back there. Sam Gertz goes towards the middle. Back to Dean Wall goes to kick. Now goes to kick, I should say, down towards half forward. Off the hands of the pack. And over the line for a boundary throw-in. Kroger, you got anything for us?
Yeah, Div 2, Langwarrin 38, Rye 1 behind. Karingal 20, Chelsea 8. Mornington 53, Tyab 8. Crib Point 28, Devon Meadows 18. 1 behind so far at Pearsdale into the second quarter. Somerville 19 leads Seaford 17.
On the footy show this morning, AJ, how many goals? What did we say the sweep was for how many goals Rye ticked today? Did we actually did give something, didn't we? On that?
I think we just said that they struggled to kick goals against the good sides, Fossey.
As everyone struggles to score goals out there at Langwarrin, it is a tough ground. Langwarrin play it so well, don't they?
They certainly do. I think they play any ground pretty well at the moment. It's the ball's thrown up. Billy Gertz, he goes over the top looking for someone to run onto it.
Yeah, I reckon they'd play Waganya very well, actually, Daz.
There it is. Who had second quarter on their bingo card? Anyone?
Bingo.
The Master Susovic did. Fantastic. There we go. It's a bit of a standstill here. It's
a proverbial arm wrestle at the moment when you consider these two sides just don't want to give an inch.
Free kick's been given here to Dromana, Vossi.
It's a 10-point lead to Mount Eliza.
It feels like more, doesn't it?
It does feel a little bit different in that context, yes. Very good call there, Cuddles.
Thanks, mate. Don't need Cuddles when you're talking me up, Vossi.
There's a quick snap. There's a goal, I think.
Yeah, Billy quickly.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was a goal. The umpire went right across, but thought it went through and it did. So goal to Dromana. They're up to 2-5-17. Mount Eliza are 3-3-21. We've played 15 minutes in the second quarter. It's perfect conditions, but goals very hard to score, but it's a close game, and I hope you can stay with us right throughout the afternoon here on RPFM.
Boys, I mentioned on the footy show earlier today that last week probably wasn't Billy Quigley's best game, but I tell you what, I'd be pretty happy if I was still having 34-2 and not having my best game, because very often he's having 45 and kicking 3, and he's been fantastic today.
Yeah, he's going to need shoulder surgery at the moment. He's carrying at the moment. He's just come off the back of the square. He's going to get it there. So that half back roll might be a semi-permanent one coming off the back of the square, because that's twice he's done it now.
I think Bill does what he wants, to be honest, Daz. I think he's calling the
just
shots.
Running the ship.
Boys, I'm going to put a question out to you. Ball's over the line just before the ball comes back in, and you can answer it shortly.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have right now, considering there's a few contenders, do we have the leading contender at the moment, right now, in terms of the vote getters, like best and fairest at the end of the year? Do you think?
Oh, Billy Quigley is...
We could have Billy Gertz, we could have Shane Tennant, we could have Finlay Bain. There's a lot out there. Have we got the leader out here right now?
Yes. And I'm going to go as far as saying Billy Quigley is the best player in the Mpnfl at this current point.
Yeah, hard to argue. He's been a star, hasn't he? And he's using the ball well from the games that we've seen him.
One of those people one of those people I don't really like, because they're good at whatever sport they put their mind to.
He's a great cricketer, but I tell you what, when you're averaging around 40 touches and a couple of goals a game, and you're being tagged and you're still having about 35 in a quieter week, Daz, I think he's going all right.
But
yeah, absolutely.
Two quality sides, but when you consider, as I said, Finlay Bain, Shane Tennant, Dean Wall, there's a lot of guys out there that could be taking votes and putting themselves right up there.
Yeah, could be, but I think Bunner's just... He's a class. He's a class player. I'd love to see him to actually have a crack and go up to the VFL now that he's put a couple of really, really consistent big seasons together, and just see where he can take his footy.
And we just missed a behind there, boys, while we were talking to Mount Eliza, and Dromana's defence is falling apart a little bit. Once the ball gets to half forward, it looks like they're guarding space, which is a bit weird on this ground for mine, and they need to tighten it up, because it was a bit of an unfortunate bounce. I think it was Lockie Hodder who had the shot. They got to tighten up. I know it's only 5 points, but you'd think the game's going to open up in the second half, and it's whoever system stands up better. As far as the defensive system goes, I don't think it can.
Boundary umpire to throw the ball back into play. 60 metres out from the Mount Eliza goal, going to the Warella drive into the ground in the second quarter as the kick comes in, and the mark will be taken there, and I think it's taken by Dean Wall, that man who's just has so many possessions and sets so many plays up for Dromana. Goes in short, the mark's taken. Right half back flank.
It's all about questions today, Vossi. I'm going to throw one at you.
Oh, boy.
Is Josh Gertz the best young talent we've seen this year?
Well, I think
Thinking like a rising star style
I think
arrangement.
Will Hose is a pretty good one as well.
Yeah, I think I'm meaning more of a player that's just come out of nowhere.
Okay, well, he's fantastic. I'd have to have time to think about that, but I'd say at the moment, answering it straight away, I'd say yes.
Might be a half-time discussion point, but Dromana are starting to play a little bit angrier. The tackles are starting to stick, and they're moving the ball a bit more threateningly. As I say that, he hits his teammate on the shoelaces, so I appreciate that.
A history lesson for you. I was actually told last night that Will Hose is actually crook that day that he put that game on a couple of weeks ago when he won the game for Tyab. Daz?
Jeepers. Makes the performance all the more better.
It really does, doesn't it?
Not sure.
If that in fact is right. Ball over the line.
Well, if we can all throw questions in, just with that play there, if you're kicking to a 2-on-1 leading to the boundary, I'm not 100% sure there's sufficient intent to keep the ball in there. I know it's a brave umpire, especially at this level, to pay it at all. But what they're doing there is rewarding Mount Eliza for not having equal numbers fall to the ball, which is an interesting way to officiate. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it's one of those little loopholes in footy, Vossi.
Free kick. Kick towards that man.
Is there two of him out there? Can we get a check on that?
There's a short pass by Billy quickly. The mark has been taken by Geordie Andrews now. He needs to be 40 metres up the ground, Geordie Andrews, because he's kicked that straight
to where he needed to be, Vossi. I'm with you.
100% agree there. There's a short pass and the mark's been taken by Will Anthony, who's got it on centre wing right in front of where Steve Brattle and the Mount Eliza coaching staff are this afternoon. He goes in short, and I reckon he might have copped one in the ribs there, Declan Cole. He sort of felt something, but he got the short pass off.
He was shaking his arm there, so it might be a bit of a hit on the wrist, maybe.
Long kick, inside attacking 50, ball over the top, and a snapper goal, and that is a goal. And it's been put through by the man who we don't have a number for there, AJ.
I know there's a couple of changes before the bounce, I think, boys.
Just if we can figure that out. But the defensive system, again, they had three players in that contest, Dromana. You just need one of them to stay down and react to what's happening. All three went up, and look what happened. So if I'm the Dromana back six right now, I'd hope to tighten up before the halftime siren goes, or there might be a little bit extra coming their way, Vossi.
Yep, so what is it, 11 points as a margin. Crago, what scores have you got for us?
Not too much majorly has changed. Edithvale are leading Rosebud 28-21 now. Sorrento 30 lead YCW 18. Pines 35 lead Red Hill 28. And Bond Beach 51, Frankston Bombers 24.
I got a couple of numbers inside here, Dromana. There we go.
So Marcazzani, he's gone inside the centre square looking for Musciali. They found him. He's got another one out wide looking for Crimmins. Can he find him? He's gone over the top there. He wants to get back onto his right. He goes by hand to Hanneman. He's run into a bit of trouble. He goes to Gormley. Quick kick going forward. He's going to turn the ball over. Scagliarini can't take the mark. Tovey. He goes by hands to Josh Gertz. I think he got one a little bit high, not coming. Billy Gertz, he was pulled off the ball. They've got the ball out there. Mount Eliza to Finn Bain. He's gone inside the centre square there. They're going to come back out wide looking for Kelly. He'll want to get back on his left. Similar kick to Dean Moore. You can see him, he doesn't want to go, but he's taken
done
there. Hanneman, great tackle.
Brilliant.
So Gormley's going to take the advantage. Sweetman, Terry Wheeler. He goes on his left. Can the ball go out the back to Saligo? Can he run onto it? Not at the moment. It's just come back inside. In a dangerous position there for Dromana. Off the ground, Sam Gertz, and he's kicked it off the ground, and that is a goal. That was great work from Hanneman there with laying a tackle.
Brilliant. The one that needs the credit. Absolutely fantastic effort. And they were able to create some numbers inside their forward 50, Vossi. Something they haven't been able to do for the majority of the afternoon, and just like down the other end, all the Mount Eliza defenders got into the contest, created some space out the back, and bang, the second Gertz to kick a goal for Dromana with, I think it was Josh who kicked one in the first quarter.
He definitely did.
Nearly 23 and a half minutes gone. I'd like to see Billy Gertz just go forward for a couple of minutes, boys, and just see if he can take a mark. Maybe bring Geordie Andrews up to centre half forward.
Yeah, don't mind it.
They're lacking the target down there, as we've said a few times, with Geordie Andrews when he comes out. And there's no one to kick to aside from Shane Tennant in the defensive half. Mount Eliza go forward towards full forward. No mark taken. And the umpire says, I'm going to ball it up.
Look what happens when you got a 2-on-1 and one doesn't fly. They had the number on ground level, and sure, they didn't clear, but they haven't conceded one. That's better.
So, once again, Mount Eliza trying to get their...
Geez, that's a fair effort.
That is a very good kick. That is a goal. And that was a kick in hope, and it's ended up being a kick that's gone straight through the middle for a goal. So Mount Eliza have their 5th, I think it is. 5-4-34 to 3-5-23, I believe is the score.
I think you're spot on. I think that was McDonald Girolami, I think, who kicked that goal. That's an outstanding kick.
Very much so.
You take that as a forward, of course.
Great Dolly Parton out there.
Good to see him down at Emil Madsen Reserve, Vossi. The ball's in the middle of the ground here.
Quite unusual. He's got a beer in his hand.
Boundary umpire's called a free kick. Going the way of Mount Eliza.
I think it was a 6-6-6 rule there, boys.
Nothing wrong with being sociable, though, Daz.
No. An amber ale responsibly, Vossi, creates some good social interactions, or if you're a soft
Peace
drink.
and harmony.
Yeah, whatever you happen to sip on, whether it's a lemonade, amber ale, as long as we're all having fun at the footy, that's all we can ask for.
So it's inside the Mount Eliza forward 50. Couldn't be long to go until half-time. Can they get another one on the board? Michael West was a player with the ball out there. He's on the ground. Nathan Scagarini trying to go inboard. Billy Gertz, he tries to run onto it, the big fella. 2 efforts, 3 efforts. He goes again. Josh Gertz with the run. This is fantastic from Dromana. They go longer, but there's just no one there. Their forwards have pushed up too far. So Mount Eliza are going to be able to rebound. They've gone out the other side to Watts. Ball bounces in front of his teammate. Dean Waters pushes him off it. He's going to go by hand over to Hutchison. Crimmins by hand. Terry Wheeler steps round one. He has a shot at goal. Can this one go through? Yes, it can.
That was way better. Mount Eliza wanted to switch, and Dromana had the extra number. Really well done by Dean Warren. That's a fantastic finish by Wheeler. They're not going away, Dromana, which is good. It's creating a good game of footy, which is all that we can ask for, and they're starting to use their possessions, Vossi, on a quality, not quantity basis. They're not going backwards as much, and it's starting with Billy Gertz and Billy Quigley.
Yeah, they needed that one just to stay in touch just before half-time. Even though it was only 11 points, they brought it back to 5. They just needed that one just to feel good about themselves going in. It'll just about be the last action of the first half, although what have we had this quarter? We've had 4 goals to 3. Might be still a couple of minutes to go, actually, boys.
Billy Quigley's gone to half forward. I wouldn't mind if he go and rest in the square, but Mount Eliza go inside forward 50 through Tom Small. Out to West. Ball's on the ground. Can he step his opponent? Mount Eliza faithful looking for a free kick. None coming.
We like a vocal crowd.
Ball's in the middle of the pack, not coming out. We'll get a stoppage.
The dagger that would be delivered to Dromana if they concede one here would be absolutely huge.
So we're near on half-time here at Mount Eliza. Craig, have you got some scores from around the ground?
Yeah, quickly, just in Div 2. I think some of these scores probably need to be updated. Langwarren in front of Rye. Karingal 13 points up on Chelsea. Mornington 44 points up on Tyab. Crib Point are still leading Devon Meadows into the second quarter. And Somerville just in front of Seaford by 2 points.
And the third versus fifth game, Bomb Beach are 34 points in front at half time of the Bombers.
Daniel Gormley just in that contest. He had nowhere to go. I don't know what the plan was, but you're nigh on half time. Kick it as long as you can, as close to the boundary line without putting it out on the full. Coming inboard with a kick that wasn't 15. And they've set this up. Dromana are doing a lot right. They're back 6 at the moment. Good grief.
Yeah, just to answer your question there, Vossi, it'll be interesting to see if the Bombers and their percentage, if it's the same sort of thing that happened to Sereno, if they go down again, and will their percentage drop that much that they fall out of the top 5?
Well, it depends on what happens to the other games, doesn't it? That kick dropped short and that wasn't scored. So at half, in fact, no points been given actually.
Yep, was it behind? Yep.
5-5-35 to 4-5-29 at half time. Sereno are up by 8 points in their game against Frankston YCW, low scoring game at Jubilee Park. Sereno lose and Bombers lose. Pines have got the opportunity to go in, and Pines are about 7 or 8 points in front of Red Hill. So interesting, but that percentage is going to take a little bit of a battering. Sus, you've got your very good mate out there in Steve Brattle.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Need your property painted, but you don't want to just trust any painter with your asset? Give Wow Factor Painting Solutions a call. We're based on the Mornington Peninsula and specialise in high-quality painting solutions. We are proud members of the Master Painters Victoria and the Dulux Accredited Program. For a free quotation, visit wowfactorps.com.au or call 0475 448 285. Wow Factor Painting Solutions, a station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match, because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
At SJS Accounting Strategies in Mornington, our mission is a simple one: to make running your business easier. To get money-related challenges out of the way so you can focus on growing your business. It doesn't matter which business sector you're from, our commitment to helping you grow will be exactly the same. Why? Because our team loves helping businesses achieve their goals. Contact SJS Accounting on 5975 0488 or visit www.sjsaccountingstrategies.com.au. A station sponsor.
Dreaming of a cold beer poured straight from the tap? Tar Barrel Brewery and Distillery, located on Watt Road in Mornington, is open Wednesday to Sunday, offering craft beers and spirits produced on site, with local wines and cocktails also available. Come down and enjoy one of their famous wood-fired pizzas in the beer garden. A local taste experience. Tar Barrel Brewery and Distillery, the spirit of local. tarbarrel.com.au, a station sponsor.
Here at Bridgestone Select, it's our job to keep you moving with the right advice,
a great range of products and service you can count on. So when it comes to tyres, when it comes to auto care,
come to Bridgestone Select for service that moves you.
Jones Lapino Real Estate, located on Wilsons Road, are Mornington Peninsula's boutique real estate professionals, offering premium service in sales, auctions, investment property management and holiday leasing across the Mornington Peninsula. Contact Jones Lapino for the very best in client experience on 5975 5593 or visit joneslapino.com.au, a station sponsor. Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Deputy Mayor Eliza Dixon has come out swinging after learning that the state government has sold off public housing in Hastings. The Cerberus Ward councillor was told that the dilapidated housing was surplus to state government needs. She raised the issue as an urgent matter at council this week, stating that the decision had further eroded the Shire's emergency accommodation options. Councillor Dixon states the properties should never have been let go. For more on this story and for all of this week's news, just click the link.
Special guest, and I'll cross across to AJ right now.
Beautiful, thanks Craig. Now joining us is the AFL Southeast Hayden O'Connor. Hayden, thanks for joining us at halftime of what's been a pretty good first half here at Mount Eliza.
Certainly has. It definitely the standard of two final sides, and as I said just off air before, it's kind of like two boxers just trading blows at the moment. When Dromana have had a ascendancy, they've scored, and then Mount Eliza have been able to wrestle it back. But yeah, ripping first half, and we should be in for a close one in the second half as well.
Yeah, we both mentioned it. Both sides are very similar, aren't they? They want to have the running game going. They both sort of have one key forward. They've got sort of one ruck, and then they've just got an abundance of running midfielders.
Yeah, definitely that forward handball, especially with the stand rule. I think both sides really exploit that really well. And when they're able to use the corridor, they both look so dangerous. And yeah, it could end up being a shootout, I reckon. There could be a very high-scoring back end of the game when there'll be a bit of tired legs out there.
Now, we had you on at Pines, and we spoke about the competition being so tight. And that side, Pines, potentially if they win today and Sereno and Frankston Bombers both lose, will be in the 5.
It's incredible. I actually spoke to Paddy during the week, and how good is it for our region? Division 2 also, we could, with results going a certain way, have Chelsea and Pearcedale playing off for the 5th spot. And in Division 1, yeah, 6-7 sides still alive, and even movement within the 5 as well. Like Bomb Beach, if they were to get beaten today, they started pretty well from the scores. But yeah, they could lose a double chance. Dromana could find themselves, and bearing in mind Bombers as well have got Rosebud and EDS. And we haven't even mentioned Rosebud and EDS,
Yeah.
so there's plenty going on, which is great.
Absolutely. Now, the finals venues were announced throughout the week, and the Division 2 will be played at Rye and also at Chelsea, and then the final will be played at Frankston as per usual, and then in Division 1 we'll see Rosebud and also Frankston Bombers hosting that, and then obviously at Skybus Stadium for the grand final.
Yeah, we can't wait. We put a proposal to the presidents at a meeting, and their strong feedback was, given we are a football netball league, that up until the grand final, that we should use venues that keep the football and netball together. But also one of the limitations we've had this year, which is a great thing, is the amount of venues that we've got are currently either about to be developed or under redevelopment at the moment. So I don't think you can have an Mpnfl finals without Ryan Rosebud. I think they're the cornerstone. But credit to Frankston Bombers. Their facility at the moment, their ground is fantastic, and some great opportunities there as well.
Now, we don't want to talk about redevelopments, and lucky Michael Voss isn't behind us, because he would be banging on about Mornington that should have started 3 years ago, and it's still 5 years away from starting.
Yeah, our relationship with the Mornington Peninsula Shire is very strong, as it is with other LGAs. So whatever we can do to support our clubs to make sure that their facilities are the best. I look through recently with Seaford as an example, and what that can do for a local community. So fingers crossed the Mornington one gets underway. I know that here at Emil Madsen that there's a bit of talk about what can be done here with the facilities. So I think AFL Southeast are here to support all of our key stakeholders in that realm to get them the best facilities possible.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look out, here today, and we've got the cricket oval over my left shoulder. We've got another oval that's been added at the top. We've got soccer ovals. It's a fantastic reserve that could be turned into to probably first class facilities with a number of sports occupying the precinct.
No doubt, and from a junior perspective, I know that they're looking at having the Frankston District Junior Football League finals here, just due to access and the amount of grounds here. So I think that's where we work with partnership with our councils to go, okay, well, we want our venues to be used for key community events, not just for football, but it brings the community together. So I think that's the most exciting part about the next 5 to 6 weeks is the return after 3 years to have everybody together again.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, last time we had you on at Pines, I asked you for a tip in the second half. You went with a draw. I talked you out of it.
Talked me out of it.
And it was a draw.
It was. What I did on my my socials to my friends, I cut the beauty of editing. I cut after the draw, and they all thought I picked it. But I should have stuck to my. Yeah, I probably learned a lesson that day to stick to my first judgment. But
what about this afternoon? What are you going with?
I'm going to go Mount Eliza just because they're at home, and let's go 8 points.
Beautiful. Hayden, thank you for joining us once again. We appreciate the support from the AFL Southeast to RPP, and we look forward to bringing the last couple of rounds together and the final series.
Looking forward to it, guys, and get down to the footy, get down to the netball. We're in for a huge end to the season, and thank you to everyone in the community for supporting us and supporting community footy and netball.
We'll throw it back over to Craig with some results.
Thanks, boys. Langwarren 38 leading Rye 1. We believe that's just into the third quarter. Coringal 30 over Chelsea 10. Mornington 53 over Tyab 8. That would probably require a bit of an update, that particular score. Crib Point still lead Devon Meadows into the third quarter. Still waiting on a decent score through from the Pearsdale Hastings game. And Somerville in front of Seaford by 13 points was our last score. In the other DIV1 games today, Edithvale Aspendale 5 points up on Rosebud in the relegation battle game today. Sorrento lead YCW by 8 points at half-time, 32-24. Pides have kicked away and lead Red Hill at half-time, 6-5-41 to 5-4-34. And Bond Beach well and truly in charge over Frankston Bombers at half-time, 58-24. And for the two Hawthorn gentlemen who were in the commentary van today, that score in the AFL from down there in Tassie at half-time. It's Hawthorn 8-8-56 leading the Gold Coast Suns 5-5-35. And a close game in Sydney. GWS into time on in the second quarter over Essendon. There's a 2-point game. 43 plays 41, Daz.
Well, Mike wasn't on, but I'm good now. It's good results there, and we won't touch on the implications of the AFL games, but happy for the Pines, the local. I know AJ likes to talk about Sorrento, so I'll give the Pines a bit of love. They deserve it. That's going to be an epic end, isn't it, to where the Pines end up, whether it is in the 5 or outside of the 5. But
well, they've given it a red-hot go, haven't they?
Yeah, they absolutely have. But I tell you, if Edithvale Aspendale beat Rosebud, I'm not locking for the rest of the year. That's just not an activity I'm going to participate in I'd love to go back and check my record. I don't think my tipping record's that bad, but geez, I've done some stinkers when it comes to locking. My goodness me. Although, Vossi did try to lock the top side twice in a month, so, you know, I'm not going that badly.
Well, Vossi does have his little quirks when it comes to those sorts of things. I don't think he's doing terribly well with the AFL tipping this year. So
I'd rather tip poorly but keep my integrity. That's where I'm at.
Well, integrity is one of the most important things you can have, Daz. So if you can hang on to that, you're not doing too bad in life. But we're getting ready here for the third quarter. Both teams are back on the field, and we'll throw back Vossi's back from his halftime pep talk as well. So we'll throw back to you two.
Yes, well, 1 goal the difference here in the match of the day this afternoon with Mount Eliza in front. We're about to start the second half, and tell you what, it's anyone's game at the moment, Daz.
It is, mate. We've been crying out, I think, since the Pines Dromana game. I mean, we had a cracker with Tyab and Crib Point, albeit the quality maybe not at as high as we wanted it to, I should say. But this has been a pretty good game, yes, with some mistakes, but two quality sides going at it, and of course the implications are huge. So fingers crossed we stay here, and we'll keep an eye out on the 8-point tip to Mount Eliza that was given at half-time as well. But AJ's going to kick us off.
Absolutely. As the ball's thrown up to start the second half, Billy Gert starts off from where he left off, but his handball's intercepted there by Finn Bain. He's going over the top to Michael West. He can't run onto it cleanly, but he's got the ball back to Finn Bain. He goes inside forward 50, but he's going to turn the ball over, and standing in the hole for Dromana is Masciali there.
Not sure the idea about going for the ball one-handed, Vossi. You said two hands for beginners down the bottom here. It's one of those footy cliches that just rings true. Just throw both hands out at it. It's not a difficult thing to ask, although you could argue as well, if you're handballing 5 metres, you should probably be hitting them on the chest, not outstretched.
So we've got a 50-metre penalty here. Braden Elms took the mark, and Nathan Saligo has gone over the mark there, and Braden Elms will go closer to goal in what should be Mount Eliza's 6th for the afternoon, and they'll just go back out to a 2-goal buffer here, boys, if this is kicked truly.
It's been an indifferent day for Saligo. He's used the ball pretty well, and I think he's set up. There was Sam Gertz's goal in that second quarter, but without the footy, he probably should have conceded a 50-metre penalty in the second quarter, but didn't. Yeah, that's just sloppy, and this should go through. And it does.
It's not great when you look down towards the goals there, boys, because the goalpost is basically right in line with that light pole, and the goalpost does not stand out.
It doesn't do it
so it
justice
looked like
at all.
he pushed that across, but it went straight through the middle from Braden Elm, so Mount Eliza get their 6th on the board.
It just, I mean, how do you say anything other than it was a silly thing for Nathan Saligo to do? So he owes them one, Vossi, and usually when a player, good professional players, know they owe their team one, they usually come through. So look out for him close to goal for the rest of the quarter.
So the way the second quarter ended, Dromana will answer this pretty quickly. They answered a couple of times late in the second quarter to get back to within a goal. Mount Eliza have gone out by that 2-goal margin once again as Dromana look to go forward towards half forward. Going up, almost a good pair of hands there taken by Toby. He almost handed that out. He was tackled. The umpire said, I'm going to ball it up right half forward here.
He's got to roll as a waiter if he's handing the ball out like that.
Pretty much the way it was here at the moment, wasn't it?
I'll tell you what, Billy Gertz could be a waiter too, because he's putting it on a silver platter for his midfielders.
Yeah, if we keep doing waiter puns, we're going to be here a while, but we're bringing a lot to the table for sure.
Billy quickly tries to burst through. He goes by hands looking for Saligo. He's bumped off it by Scagarini. Kelly tries to go through. He's dispossessed. Terry Wheeler. Harris. He goes with a sweeping handball out to Sam Gertz. He just brushes off with some strength.
That was just
dismissive. Over to Dan Marcazzani. Sam Gertz goes in looking for a Geordie Andrews. Had a pretty quiet day. He's been 2-on-1 most of the time. Who can stand up for Dromana and get another goal on the board? Not this time, though.
Jeez,
Bailey
that's
Welsh
a good handball.
Gone out. Some good pressure out there, though, by the player in Riley Davis for Dromana. And the ball's going to be escorted out basically on the 50-metre mark going towards Dromana's goals. We've played 3.5 minutes on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. This is your Batchelor and Mornington match of the day. Thanks also to our sponsors, Icon Sports Melbourne, Bridgestone Select Mornington, Jones Lapino and Bendigo Bank.
Wonderful sponsors here at RPFM. Umpire calls for a ball up once again. Margin is 12 points.
There's been four clearances this quarter, 3 of them to Mount Eliza, and Finn Baines had all 3. So at some point, an opponent surely got to go to him. Just someone.
He's a star, and he's had a fantastic year. And no disrespect to him, but no one seems to be respecting him at all. He got another possession there, and no one was really on him for 5 metres. So.
Well, we did didn't we, halfway through the year, you guys both sat down and did sort of a combined team of the mid-year. We'll, of course, do our team at the end of the year. Is Finn Bain a lock for Div1?
Oh,
absolutely.
No doubt. I wish I could be as sure as winning Tat Soto as what he is winning in that side, because he is going to be in that side, not a problem at all.
It's a good defensive mark too, I think. I don't have the exact number, but by there, I mean Mount Eliza's ability to mark the ball inside defensive 50 has been great. And wasn't quite defensive 50, but Shane Tennant's just come from nowhere. And then he's reversed it. Has he? No.
Down the line goes the kick by Tennant down towards centre wing. Anthony jumps over his opponent in James Hammond and takes the mark.
This game's going up a notch, boys.
The intensity certainly has risen. A high kick to half forward, but it's been marked there by Jaden Tooth for Dromana. Dromana need to answer here. They just looked to trot down there, I don't know what he was trying to do there in actual fact. He ran straight at the man on the mark, but didn't go over the man on the mark. So there's a short pass, and the mark has been taken. And it has been taken there by Musgrove, it was, who goes in towards the centre of the ground. The mark taken by Billy Gertz.
And
Billy Gertz gets out to his brother in Sam. Sam Gertz goes in short. The mark has been taken in the centre of the ground. They've had about 5 possessions, and they've gone about 30 metres. They need to trying to weave a path through, maybe thinking of Shane Tennant, maybe 40, 50 metres down the ground. As it is, they're fiddling around with it. They're getting stuck. They're going to get out of trouble They go back towards half-back. Now they go in short. Musciali's got it.
Just looking down the ground, Geordie Andrews is their deepest forward, and he's 25 out from goal, not on a half-forward flank. It's what they needed to do a bit earlier. Good to see they're doing it now.
The man formerly of Edipal Aspendale went in short, and the mark was taken. They can switch play once again, Dromana. They're trying to open Mount Eliza up here, but Mount Eliza are just rolling over and just doing what they need to do to keep Dromana out there, trying to get the ball back off them, though. Short pass, mark taken. And it's been taken, I think, by Ben Toby, who's got it 50 metres out from goal. Goes to full forward, and the mark has been taken by Dan Gormley, 20 metres out from goal. This to bring the margin back to 6 points. And I'm not going to say this is a guaranteed goal. It should be a goal, but...
If there's one man's kicking technique that we might need to dissect, it's going to be him. But it was smart. They went around Shane Tennant for the first time today, and Gormley started on the half-forward flank and just kept slinking down until he was on his own.
Directly in front, Dan Gormley, he knows every inch of this ground, and he puts that through for a goal. The next Mount Eliza player, of course, 5-5-35, plays 6-5-41. It's Mount Eliza up by 6 points. This is a Battery World of Mornington Match of the Day live on RPP, and they answer every time, AJ.
They certainly do. That was great ball movement from Dromana. It was really good work from Billy Quigley. He's lifted his work rate. Billy Gertz has been fantastic in the ruck all day. He's given his midfielders first crack at it. Bit of a shout out to Billy Quigley's old man Damo. He's listening all the way from the Northern Territory, having a cold one in the pool. Boys, I tell you what, wouldn't be bad being up there at this time of the year.
No, I'd appreciate it. But Nick McDonald-Girolami and Ned Hanneman here both came on the ground at the same time, and without looking, ran straight into each other coming on the ground. So things are going well on field, but you got to be better than that, Vossi. You got to have some sort of spatial awareness when you're coming onto the field.
Absolutely, you do. AJ, what temperature are you going to be walking into WA this week?
Not much hotter than here, Vossi.
Really?
It's been a lot of rain in WA the last couple of weeks. So
I think the highest temp's about 18.
Can't wait for it to bucket down there, and we'll get some sun, Vossi, and we'll be able to dig him in. But
that's all right, mate. You just enjoy work. I'll be at the races on Wednesday in a corporate box.
He'll be signing... corporate box. He'll be signing signatures as Josh Kennedy, our man, though.
Absolutely.
It's going to look very important up there, Vossi.
Balls come out wide to Crimmins.
Oh, in the back, yeah.
Takes
Mark,
that-
well
Been
done.
taken.
Takes us with you over to WA, and then all of a sudden they'll think Russell Crowe and Josh Kennedy have turned up.
Hanneman's taking the mark here.
No, it was an in the back that everyone seems to have disagreed with, bar me. Looked like he fell into him from here.
He's gone backwards to Crimmins. They've
Yeah.
gone back again. They've gone all the way back to Hanneman. Across field. So they're working their ball movement well here at the moment, Dromana.
Here comes Tennant.
Jaden Tooth. Not a great kick from him. And the man has got a bit of a crush on today with Shane Tennant.
Well,
Gotta take the mark.
It's a pretty easy. Well, number one, I'll own up to it. But number two, it's a pretty easy game when you can just slide across half back, no opponent, and know that you're not getting damaged with one extra at the contest. Because Dromana are struggling to get the ball with any sort of authority across the field. So he's been dominant.
Will Antoni, he took the intercept mark. He goes long, looking for Rouse. He just spoils the ball forward, trying to get one of his teammates from Mount Eliza to run onto it. They've half the contest here, Mount Eliza. Good result, and we'll get a ball up on the 50-metre mark, heading towards the Mount Eliza goals.
If you're Shane Tennant, you're running around with a head wobble at the moment due to the fact that Dromana's playing this way for his benefit because they're trying to avoid him, but they keep finding him.
I'll tell you what, I don't think it's just Dromana, Vossi. I think it's every side.
That is true. They're going to go back forward here.
And it's not like he's been terrible, but if we're comparing Tennant to Dean Waugh, Tennant's definitely got the points there, although Dean Waugh hasn't done a whole lot wrong.
Yeah, no,
different players, Daz, different players.
There's a short pass out towards
both
Muscali,
half-back.
who's got it down towards centre wing. Now they're over the top. Now they've got the chance to go forward. They've got the short pass in close. No, decided not to go to Brodie Sweetenham. Now goes down the line, and Shane Tennant will go up and almost take the mark, but not quite. Ball on the ground. There's almost a throw over the top, and they'll clear him out. Eliza, they will. A hand pass, and another one ends up with Bailey Welsh. Still an opportunity here for Dromana. They will turn the ball back over, and they go forward towards half forward. Picking the ball up, and a hand pass over towards the big man in Billy. What can Big Billy do? He goes towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Now Mount Eliza looking to try and clear, and they will get it out towards Bailey Welsh, who takes the mark.
Use the word almost in that throw so generously. Could be taken as a charitable donation off your taxes, Vossi, if you haven't already done it.
Well, that's out of bounds from the ball. That was
That's
that was almost a good pass, but it wasn't to be there, Puddles.
So this will probably be Bill's 35th touch today. He's had it on a string. The old man's checking in from Darwin. He'll be happy with that. So Billy quickly goes backwards. Nice Charlie. Quickly's going to get it back here. Yep, very smart. Just getting the stats up. I like it.
Absolutely. He's captained himself in fantasy.
Beautiful.
I've got the feeling. Churning them up there. Just, you can understand going slow if they're at half forward trying to search out their options.
I don't mind it. Dromana's ball movement's been good. They've spread well.
They're going nowhere.
Oh, I tell you what, they've just about got it out here, Daz. If they go in board, they had Josh Gertz in board, but that kick's not going to hit. Should have gone to Josh Gertz a little shorter.
Aged like old milk, that take. Holding the ball. That's a really good tackle. Get out of jail free card. But they've got to go quick from here. Mount Eliza are going to be a bit unsettled without the ball.
So Musgrave, he goes in short. Terry Wheeler's got the footy now. He's going to go in board. He's found a little scrubber, but he was trying to hit Hanneman. He didn't find him. Antoni, he's going to go with a high, long one. Who can run onto it? But it's going to be all Dromana standing back. They can go over to Dean Waugh. He picks it up from his bootlaces. He wants his left. So he's going to have to retreat and goes back to that player in Tooth, who then goes back to Dean Waugh. He goes up looking for Sweetenham. Can he take the mark? No, he cannot. Morney does a good job of spoiling. Antoni, he's going to try and step his opponent. He does that easily. Callie on his left.
And he's had a big influence this quarter. They're using him a lot to try and set up Zach Musciali there for Dromana, and that was a good smother to stop the attack.
I actually think their play has been all right because every time they've got it to the open side, it's just that last kick that they're not hitting. If they hit that, then they're going to be out.
Yeah, both sides just lacking that little bit of polish at the moment. End-to-end football, mark taken. by War, who goes in short, and the mark has been taken.
See, from there, you've just got to go. So are they not setting up well forward of the ball?
That's a good
That's
kick.
a great kick. That's better.
Now, one-on-one in the 50. Go long, go now. And they go over the top, looking there for Geordie Andrews, but should have been a longer kick than that because there was a one-on-one contest about 30 metres out from their goal, and Tennant was nowhere near the contest. So I'm suggesting that they wasted an opportunity to go forward and with great gusto there, Dromana.
Tell you what, Geordie Andrews is probably wondering what ladder he walked under or black cat he crossed paths with during the week because the service to him on the few occasions he's been in a one-on-one contest has been abysmal.
That was good body work from Musiali. He's been good in this quarter. He goes by hands over to Dean War. Hanneman by hand. Back to Dean War. Sells him into a bit of trouble, but he gets out. Taylor. Sam Gertz. Can he brush past? He can't, but he gets a handball out. So Eliza are going to attack here. They go in short from Finn Bain to Will Antoni. He's been pretty good today, boys. At centre half forward. He's going to go with a long one. Who can he find? Standing in the hole was Billy Quigley. Goes over his head. Goes out the back to Braden Nelms. He goes over his shoulder. Standing all alone is Dromana. Player in Jaden Tooth. He's going to go out the far side. They've worked this well. They've got it out to Harris. It was just a little bit too tall for him. Hutchison's going to butter up. He puts his body on the line. He'll win a free kick. Didn't have it there. The umpire got that one spot on, boys. So Jay Hutchison with the footy.
Hawthorn up by 26 points.
Hutchison goes in short, finding Harris. They're going to try and work this to this broadcast side. Musiali once again. He's just racking the disposals up this quarter. Sam Gertz in his defensive 50. He goes in with a kick to the middle, but he's found Scagliarini for Mount Eliza. He goes with a mung inside forward 50. And it's just going to be escorted over. So Mount Eliza 6-6-42, Dromana 5-5-35 on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard, and we'll go to Crago with some scores from around the grounds.
Yeah, Rosebud are back in front over Redithvale Aspendale 31-29. Frankston YCW 35, Sorrento 34. Pines 49, Red Hill 36, and Bond Beach 65, Frankston Bombers 40 in Div 1.
As Cole for Mount Eliza, he's strongly tackled, and that'll be holding the ball. Jai Taylor, very good tackle there. He's been good this afternoon.
Yeah,
the next question is he going to go long forward or is he going to go back and retreat? He's going to go long. Although Shane Tennant's sitting there all alone. It was a 3-on-1. Billy Quigley was outpointed there. McDonald Girolamo. He goes across goal, finding Foss.
They got no extra down the line here, Mount Eliza, and that's what causes it.
Geordie Andrews is trying to claim the mark. He lays a big tackle against Finn Bain. It's going to be on here in the middle.
Oh, we got a little bit of a scrap. Finn Bain and Geordie Andrews just introducing themselves to each other.
So Terry Wheeler's got the footy for Dromana. He's going to come out wide looking for Jay Hutchison. His big frame just stands there. Kelly cannot affect the spoil.
That was a bit like the little kid taking on his old man.
That's what happens when you're a concreter, a big boy. But that is a horrible kick from Dromana.
What can you say? That's just, it went as high as it did long.
Absolutely, and that
kick's
not a
nearly
great
worse.
kick as well. Terry Wheeler's going to butter up. That handball's not good, but he goes back and gets a footy. He's turned it over. Can any side be clean in this third quarter? Not at the moment. Slattery. He affects a tackle. Players falling over. This has been a calamity of errors in this last 5 minutes. Hanneman, he's gone out of bounds. We'll get a throw in.
Boys, when Dromana went up to a 3-on-1 contest and Shane Tennant took the mark, Matt Price has got to take Dromana in at three-quarter time. He's got to go back to an old-fashioned game. And what I mean by that is everyone has a man. Utilise and find out who is on Shane Tennant and utilise that man. Utilise him, make Shane Tennant accountable.
Yep, spot on. I'll tell you what, with that last minute and a half, if we weren't under threat of copyright, we could almost play the Benny Hill music there.
So free kick's going to go the way of Sam Gertz.
How different do they want to be in their approach?
They're going to go wide. They've spread pretty well here. They've got Gormley in short. He's going to go over the top to Sweetenham, who can't take the mark. Spoil effect, and it goes out on the far side, and we'll get a throw in.
It is a bit strange in the sense of where Dromana aren't, playing anywhere near perfect footy, and they're getting closed down a lot of areas. It still is only 7 points, so I think we do need to remind ourselves of that fact. It's only going to be the shortest of turnarounds, and then they're going to be not only back in the contest, but can go on to win the game. It's just the problems they've got seem pretty easily identified, but they're not identifying and or fixing them on the park, which is frustrating. And there's exhibit probably 25. Guess who? This bloke's been good too.
So they've worked the ball out to Aaron Foss. He's going to go on his left.
Good hit.
Looking up the ground. Zach Rouse, he's been really good today on Geordie Andrews. Smothered by Musciali. Crimmins by hand. Wheeler, he falls over, but he can get the handball out to Taylor.
I've liked his game.
And he's kicked it to two Mount Eliza players there. Tennant was one of them. McDonald Girolami was the other. He's gone out wide to Scagliarini. He's got a Paddock out there. He's got Big Billy Gertz to take on. He's going to go long, looking for a target, and he stands tall there. Max Morney.
That's how you go wide and create some
He's
space.
going to come back in through the corridor to Tom Kelly. He's got a booming left foot. He's going to take his opponent on. He's going to have a go for goal. And that looks straight, but it's smashed into the woodwork. And Mount Eliza go to 6-7-43. Dromana 5-5-35. Nearly 20 and a half minutes gone on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard.
That was Mount Eliza fantastic. But if Dromana need to take advantage, Shane Tennant's just come to the bench. He looks absolutely spent.
Yeah, the message has got to get out there,
Yeah,
Daz.
absolutely it does. Dromana have got to play a lot quicker, because even if there is a spare man behind the ball, they're probably not going to be at that man's quality. So
Play a lot more direct. Finlay Baines got it. He's had a lot of the ball this afternoon as the Mount Eliza midfielder. He's looking to go with an option down towards half forward. Mark taken between wing and half forward. And it was taken there on this occasion by Tom Small, it was. They go with a centering kick towards the centre of the ground. The mark is taken there by Simmons, who goes with a kick towards Will Anthony, who's taken the mark. So they've gone 3 possessions and really haven't gone anywhere. Now Will Anthony loads up, goes long towards full forward off the pack. The defence now, they should go straight down the ground here. Dan Gormley, that needs to hit the Dromana player. It did. It was a kick that was probably
now Dromana have got a spare.
They've got to go.
He had to go.
They've got to move this because Tennant's off the ground at the moment, and try and attack them while he's off the ground. He's the one that's holding that defence together. Down there, mind you, they've got some very good defenders in their own right, but he's the one that's the key linchpin in terms of their game plan going or trying to go round him. Margin here is 8 points with 22 minutes in the third quarter. It's 6-7-43 Mount Eliza, 5-5-35 Dromana. Second playing fourth, and, well, fifth look like they're going to lose to third, so this puts extra importance on this game going forward this afternoon.
I'm not sure if we're going out to a huddle at three-quarter time. I know we heard Dromana after the first break. Geez, I'd be curious to know what they say at three-quarter time.
So the ball's going to go long down the far side. Sam Gertz cuts in and takes the mark for Dromana. He's been fantastic once again today. He goes up long. Who can take a mark? Standing down and getting the crumb was Gormley. He goes by hand to Sweetenham. He goes in short, and he's finally found Geordie Andrews on the lead. First time they've put it out in front.
Equal numbers forward of the footy, Vossi.
And prepared to go through the corridor too, Daz.
I was getting ready to pull some hair out. Glad I don't have to. Needs to kick this, Geordie. He hasn't had the service that he would have wanted. And if he's not going to get that many chances, and it looks like he mightn't, got to put this through. Not only in the context of the game, but the context of self-confidence.
And he'll do this on three-quarter time. The siren has just gone.
Pressure of this kick's just doubled.
So Andrews comes in. He doesn't like it off the boot. That's gone to the near side. So Dromana will move to 5-6-36. Mount Eliza 6-7-43. 3-quarter time here. Shane Tennant looks to be a little bit injured, whether he's got a corky here, boys. But we'll go to a sponsor break and we'll be back right after this.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Need your property painted, but you don't want to just trust any painter with your asset? Give Wow Factor Painting Solutions a call. We're based on the Mornington Peninsula and specialise in high-quality painting solutions. We are proud members of the Master Painters Victoria and the Dulux Accredited Program. For a free quotation, visit wowfactorps.com.au or call 0475 448 285. Wow Factor Painting Solutions, a station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match, because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
At SJS Accounting Strategies in Mornington, our mission is a simple one: to make running your business easier. To get money-related challenges out of the way so you can focus on growing your business. It doesn't matter which business sector you're from, our commitment to helping you grow will be exactly the same. Why? Because our team loves helping businesses achieve their goals. Contact SJS Accounting on 5975 0488 or visit www.sjsaccountingstrategies.com.au. A station sponsor.
Dreaming of a cold beer poured straight from the tap? Tar Barrel Brewery and Distillery, located on Watt Road in Mornington, is open Wednesday to Sunday, offering craft beers and spirits produced on site, with local wines and cocktails also available. Come down and enjoy one of their famous wood-fired pizzas in the beer garden. A local taste experience. Tar Barrel Brewery and Distillery, the spirit of local. tarbarrel.com.au, a station sponsor.
Here at Bridgestone Select, it's our job to keep you moving with the right advice.
A great range of products and service you can count on. So when it comes to tyres, when it comes to auto care,
Come to Bridgestone Select for service that moves you.
Jones Lapino Real Estate, located on Wilson's Road, are Mornington Peninsula's boutique real estate professionals, offering premium service in sales, auctions, investment property management and holiday leasing across the Mornington Peninsula. Contact Jones Lapino for the very best in client experience on 5975 5593 or visit joneslapino.com.au, a station sponsor. Established in 1988, Progress Signs has been servicing the local community for 30 years. Located on the Mornington Peninsula, they are the #1 destination for all your signage needs, specialising in a variety of signage from vehicles to shop fronts, occasional and corporate events, short-term, long-term and everything in between. If it's signs you need, be it large or small, Progress Signs is the place to call. Available 24/7 at progress-signs.com.au or call the team on 5975 9188. Thinking signs? Think Progress Signs, a station sponsor.
Welcome back to Emil Madsen Reserve, where it's three-quarter time and the home side leads 6-7-43. Dromana 5-6-36. Boys, it was a pretty sloppy third quarter, but I tell you what, it set us up for a great last quarter.
Yeah, it absolutely has, hasn't it? And Mount Eliza are taking a bit of extra time in their huddle. Dromana going to their positions, and yeah, this is going to be a corking finish. I think Mount Eliza have been the better side for longer, but Dromana have had big periods where they've looked more threatening. But as we've mentioned during the call, just at times they need to risk losing this game in order to win it. If they're going to be this slow, especially on their half-back line, like they're not going to play that way once we hit 18 minutes into the last quarter. So the question needs to be asked, why aren't they doing it now? And they need to hit up their half-forwards. Geordie Andrews got involved there late, probably should have kicked that goal on the siren, but you live and you learn, but they can't afford to be laconic with the football because they're generating a lot of turnovers in their back half, which is a good start, but they're just not slingshotting the ball down to their forwards.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a couple of things needs to happen. The fact that Josh Gertz has been awesome through the middle. I think he needs to get into the middle of the ground, and I would love to see Billy Quigley start at centre-half forward or at least play, a half of the quarter there because they just need another target. They've just we've mentioned it a few times. They're just dropping down across half back, and Shane Tennant at the moment, he's got that strapping around his quad, or whether he's got a corky, we'll soon find out after the game. But I'd like to see Bill go to centre half forward and see if he can have an impact on the scoreboard.
The Tom Lynch Adelaide role, is that the one that from what I'm gathering, I like it. And he is a good user of the ball, and he's got footy IQ.
Or to be honest, I actually wouldn't mind Geordie Andrews coming out of the goal square and up to maybe centre-half forward and see if he can get him into the game, and Billy coming out of the goal square.
Don't mind it. But, yeah, they're missing a link player at half forward for sure. It's why they're not going quickly.
So start of the last quarter here in the match of the day. It's a 7-point margin in favour of Mount Eliza. Now, is Shane Tennant on the ground? I can't see him out there. He is?
Yep.
He is. He actually is. He's centre-half forward. He is matched up by an opponent. So he's back out there. So whatever the issue was, maybe just to give him a little spell. But the man who's on him seems to be Jay Hutchison.
Yeah, I reckon you'll find that Hutchison will just wear him like a glove.
Defensive role. So
defensive tag for sure needs to be at least.
The ball, about 25 metres out from the goal that Dromana are attacking in this last quarter, and the umpire says, I'm going to ball it up. Crago, what scores you got for us?
Just quickly, I was at the Dromana huddle three-quarter time, and they believe they just need to spread the ball wide, run with it when they can, a little bit more communication, and try and open up on the edges.
And Josh Gertz.
And a goal. What's the umpire giving here?
Well, if it's not a Battery World or Mornington match of the day without a bit of controversy, boys.
Will this be a Bridgestone Select goal?
There is absolutely no reason.
And it is.
It is.
Why that goal umpire should have come out of that. His job's behind the line. Maybe the field umpire to go.
I think what they're saying is that they're saying that it's hit the post because the Mount Eliza player there is saying or motioning that it has hit the post, and he was onto it straight away. It's not like he's waited, and he's definitely done that. Crago.
Yeah, just some quick scores. Edithvale Aspendale still trail Rosebud 41-35. Frankston YCW 1 point up on Sorrento 48-47. And Mount Eliza leading Dromana, of course, just in the game here at the moment. Red Hill in front of Pines now, 61-49, and Bond beat 65. Frankston Bombers 46.
3 of the 5 games in Division 1, AJ, all 1 point margins.
Yeah, it's a great competition, Vossi. We've spoken about her a number of times this year. As a big tackle is applied on Dean Moore, and we're going to get a stoppage inside the forward 50 of Mount Eliza. And I tell you what, the Mount Eliza coaching staff and the supporters just gone a bit quieter. It's a bit tense around here, Vossi.
The vocalisation, though, I like it. We need more of it in the last quarter. This is why you have a home ground advantage. They got to capitalise on it. Big moment here. Mount Eliza just got to lock this in, create a scoring opportunity.
So if you're only just joining us, Dromana's kicked the first goal in the last quarter. They're 1 point behind now on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. And they're going to look to repel from their defensive 50 through Billy Gertz. He's tackled. Billy Quigley intercepts that by hand. Josh Gertz, smart footy. Gormley by hand. He goes over to Taylor, who's been good off half-back with his run. That's a good kick over to Tovey. He's pushed out the way. Ball's gone out, and we'll get a throw in on the far side, about 80 metres out from the Dromana goal.
And they're looking more dangerous the quicker they're going, Dromana, which is good to see. I'll say I, put it on Dromana's back six in that third quarter that they had to stand up. Mount Eliza's back six. Your turn.
Boundary umpire throws the ball back into play. 1 point the margin in favour of the home side, the Redlegs. Free kick to Dromana out of that boundary throw-in contest. And Dromana are just getting their hands on the ball early. They've scored a goal already. Now they go towards the forward pocket. That's a poor kick, and the mark has been taken in defence there from Mount Eliza. And now going in short, and the mark has been taken there at half-back. They can get it and go. They've got Tennant over the top. They don't need him at this stage. Now they go all the way across the other side of the play, and the mark's been taken by Zach Rouse, who's got it on between right back pocket and right half back. Goes in short with the kick. Not the greatest of kicks. Dean Moore bounces over the top of him. A real high bounce it was, which absolutely killed any hope he had in that contest. Braden Nelms has got it, runs to centre half forward, passes it off, and now an opportunity. He played on, and then he got around his opponent, and he had the shot, and he missed. And the player was Jordan Rouse, who had the shot. He didn't need to play on there, but he managed to get around, and he should have kicked the goal, boys. Margin is 2 points in the match of the day.
I think it was touched, Vossi.
And I was going to say, I didn't mind the fact that he played on, but he actually had James Hammond out all alone in the pocket. So Musgrave it was, sorry. They've gone into Taylor. Right in front of the scoreboard here, it reads 6-8-44, and then Dromana 6-6-42, Premier Traditional Homes. Going up the wing are Dromana. Billy Quigley and Billy Gertz come over the top. Billy Gertz just distracts the ball from the contest. He goes by hand. Marquezani has it. It goes over the head of Andrews. Tovey's going to go back and find Terry Wheeler. That was a great kick from Tovey.
Yeah. Spot on. And they're going quickly again.
Wheeler, he's looking for that man in Tovey, and he's found it. He'll go back and line up for Dromana's 7th of the afternoon, and it'll put them in front if they are able to convert.
I don't know if we've got a camera on Stephen Brattle, but reports are saying the wheelie bin's coming out of his car, boys, which is making me incredibly nervous. It's the cheapest B&B in Mount Eliza, and it's got my name on it, unfortunately.
I'll tell you what, even if it's a wheelie bin in Mount Eliza, it won't be cheap. Tovey steps up inside forward 50. That's a dead eye kick, and it's gone over the goal. Umpires had Dromana have hit the front.
And now you look at the second team on the ladder, and there's only one question to be asked, Vossi. What have you got? And if they are the second best team in the competition,
they should find something.
Absolutely.
So Dromana 7-6-48, Mount Eliza 6-8-44.
The opportunity is there, boys, just as a matter of interest around the grounds. The opportunity is there for 7 to jump into the 5, being Pines, but they are 13 points down, boys, in their game against Red Hill up on the hill.
As we said, it's a different contest up on the hill. Billy Gertz, he's probably been the best player on the ground for Dromana in my eyes. He's been fantastic. Marquezani.
A couple of the Gertz are probably a couple more, I should say.
They've got all the run at the moment, boys, haven't they?
Absolutely. Marquezani's going to go out wide looking for Billy Gertz. It's gone over the back. Billy Quigley, he goes in. He's found Geordie Andrews. That's better ball movement for Dromana.
You wanted Billy Quigley up at in front of the contest so he could do that exact thing. Hit his forwards on the chest. No better forward for Dromana than this man. Had a sider on the siren. This would be huge. This would be absolutely huge. They've got all the momentum. Dromana, this needs to hammer it home.
And here comes Geordie Andrews. He leans back a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
He liked that right off the boot. They've gone further out in front here. Dromana, 10-point lead in the last quarter. And their run has been fantastic so far. We've had 7.5 minutes gone. Mount Eliza 6-8-44. Dromana 8-6-54 in the Battery World of Mornington match of the day.
Let's go big call time. One more and it's over.
Wow.
One more for Dromana, and that's it.
You certainly want to leave this venue in a wheelie bin, Daz, I tell you what.
I'm a man that's open to new experiences, apparently. Don't take that the wrong way.
So ball back to the middle. 10-point margin in favour of Dromana. They've turned this around from a 7-point deficit. 3 goals to zip in this last quarter, and they are out now by 10 points, and they've got the run. A high kick towards half forward, but going back and taking the mark there. Mount Eliza have now got to try and attack the game. Braden Nelms has got it. Goes the kick towards half forward. No mark taken. The defence needs to hold up here for Dromana. Tackled too high. I think he ducked, boys. I think he ducked. I think he initiated that.
Fossey, don't talk about ducks around me, please. Not after last night.
Sam Dirts is a player who got the free kick.
Who's been excellent, by the way.
Oh, look.
He'll go up against his brother for best on.
He doesn't play a bad game, let's be honest.
I reckon we'll read on Monday or Tuesday that Billy Gertz has had 50 to 60 hitouts, Daz.
Yep, I think so. And
they've all been clean and to advantage.
Yeah, I'd be interested with the hitouts to advantage, but what he has done is he's continually put the ball into space and he's kind of demanded his midfield to be in the right spots, which is what you want a dominant ruckman to do. No point tapping it to your own feet, a la maybe Brodie Grundy before he got injured. That was a big criticism from a lot of AFL media and that type. He's putting it into space and telling his midfield to go to work, and oh boy, are they.
So Josh gets the handball out to Crimmins. He steps back in traffic. Terry Wheeler, he's been fantastic today for Dromana. Back to Sam Gertz. He goes in with a low one. Out comes Billy Quigley. He just looks so much more better forward line with Billy Quigley up there. Ball goes in, looking for Geordie Andrews. He's going to kick another goal. And Dromana, they've got another one.
Get the wheelie bin.
So they're out.
I'm spending the night.
To a game-wide lead for Dromana. 16 points. I tell you what, Daz.
Do I get a blanket in the wheelie bin? Surely I've got something
nothing
to keep me warm.
You've got nothing in there.
Wait, it's foam.
I reckon it'll be a lock.
Who would have thought this at three-quarter time? They have kicked 4 goals straight to 1 point in this last quarter.
Well, to be fair, Vossi, we were demanding them to actually go quicker with the football. Give us the credit. We told them to do it.
They should have done it 5 minutes previous to three-quarter time when Shane Tennant was off the ground. He's on the ground, and they're going forward again as they go towards full forward. No mark taken. Ball on the ground. Mount Eliza hanging on at the moment here, boys. They are hanging on by the hair on their chin, and they hang in there right now. And speaking of that, the man with a very stylish-looking beard, very stylish-looking goatee just walking past us there.
So good. It's making me feel bad about myself.
A tip of the lid, Vossi. It was a good one. Yeah. As Dromana and a go at goal once again, Billy Gertz.
This game is over, boys.
Oh, so hang on, you're jumping on me because I went 1 goal earlier.
I'm saying it is now. They're 22 points up, 11 minutes in the last quarter. They're home.
They have just stopped here, man, Eliza.
I'm filthy. Was hung out to dry 1 goal ago, and now it's been flipped. This is disgraceful. You're either with me or against me, boys. We need to be a united front in the box. Tell you what, Mount Eliza could do with being a united front at the moment.
Yeah, let's get to Craig over some scores from around the grounds.
Yeah, 61 apiece at Red Hill at the moment. Frankston YCW 1 point leaders over Sorrento, 55-54. Rosebud still lead Ethervale Aspendale, and Bond Beach well in control over Frankston Bombers.
So Billy Gertz was the goal kicker there.
It's 28 points, yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, boys, now, because Bill got on the scoreboard, he have to be best on. Sure. Look at that rut work. Out into space. They've got
the disadvantage.
No, but what he's doing...
he's demanding his midfield to be in the right spots, as we said earlier. I'm only joshing around.
The fact is that his dominant ruck work has started their midfield in this last quarter, surging forward, and they look like they can't be stopped.
Great defensive work there. I like how AJ wanted Billy out of the ruck contest, and him in the ruck contest has turned this game around.
I wanted him to change something, Daz.
They've gone one-on-one in their forward 50, and this is going to be their 5th goal in a row.
This is as poor a quarter I've seen from a contending side since last week.
So this will make it now 7 of the 10 games I've tipped for Mount Eliza. I've gotten it wrong. That's extraordinary.
I think you'll be asked not to ever step foot on this premises ever again, Daz.
Yeah, I've only been banned from one place before, and
well, this is a second.
Yeah, that's it.
And if they do go on to complete this game, which they should do from here on, Dromana, that'll mean they've beaten YC at YC and Mount Eliza at Mount Eliza.
And Toby has come in and he's kicked the goal. Dromana just extend their lead out to 26 points.
Tell you what, Finlay Baines just walked past us here. He's going to come back on the ground. He looks filthy. And a bit like, he's ready to charge back into this stoppage and try and do something extraordinary.
28 points, sorry there, boys. We've had nearly 13 and a half minutes gone on the Premier Traditional Home scoreboard. Batcherwood and Mornington match of the day. Thanks also to our sponsors, Icon Sports Melbourne, Bendigo Bank, Jones Lapino, Bridgestone Select Mornington.
Dromana have got Rosebud at Rosebud next week and finish off with Bomb Beach at home to round out.
That'll be
So
a corker. No one came off for Mount Eliza for Finn Bain to go on. He's still here on the bench, and he's looking as filthy as that decision-making suggests.
that moustache is bristling, isn't Daz?
This is extraordinary. And now Billy Quigley.
Thanks, Vossi. I'll just leave myself hanging out the drive there. That's all right. All good.
It's all right, Vossi. For every 10 times it happens to me, I've got to do it once.
You're not the Cuddles the second, Vossi, are you?
Cuddles Jr.
We've got Billy Quigley lining up. I tell you what, his old man.
He puts this on the scoreboard. It opens up the Best on Ground award.
His old man Rispy cracking open a cold one if this one goes through. He goes in, and that's never in doubt, boys.
He kicked it off the bin. As soon as it cleared them out on the mark, they went up. They knew it was going straight through.
You could hear it just come off the boot, and you didn't even have to look at it, boys.
No.
It was fantastic. That's straight through. Damo just cracked open another one. He's celebrating up in the Northern Territory. And they are home here, Dromana. This is a big upset.
He's gone now.
There was, mate. It's I'm the leader. You guys are the followers, clearly. But there were 11 goals kicked in the first 3 quarters combined. We've had 7 in this quarter, all to Dromana.
I'll tell you what, I love it. They think there's a camera on, but it's actually pointing out on the field, so it's all good.
I think they just walked past to get a second look at Vossi. He's looking good this afternoon.
That camera might follow them round, actually, what they're drinking there.
I think one of the girls has just said, I think that's Josh Kennedy.
Yeah, absolutely. Dromana go on goal once again, just missing.
They are human.
All day it's happened, boys. I've
After
watched
all,
it.
yeah,
all
it's
day.
been good.
The camera's pointing towards us. The other one out onto the field, but yet everyone still tries to do the limbo under it.
We appreciate the respect given.
Absolutely.
Mount Eliza are going inside 50. What is this?
A very novel thing in this last quarter. Hammond just flicking the ball back, but not hitting a teammate there.
There is just silence out there, boys. Everyone is just absolutely stunned at the moment.
They've kicked 7 goals won in 16 minutes of football here, Dromana, in the last quarter. It's been unbelievable.
Yep, 7-1 to a behind.
I tell you what, boys, it's not a bad game to be at. Always good to come down to Mount Eliza and Dromana.
Is it good to leave? Because I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do that.
It's a good selection during the week from the Chief.
Oh.
Where are we going next week? I suppose we'll talk about that later. No. There's a point because there's a few games on the line next week as well. There's a few options we've got, is what I'm saying.
Tell you what, I reckon there's the same amount of options next week as there was this week.
Some more so than others.
Okay, thank you.
Good grief. This is what you've done to us, Dromana. It's unravelling.
Dromana, a genuine premiership chance on this?
Yes. I think their football can worry anyone on their day.
They need their best side out there. I think that's the consensus with a few people around. When they lose their players, they sort of do lose a little bit of impetus. But when they're playing like this, when they're harassing sides like they are, And they've got another free kick here. They look very impressive, don't they?
They're not going to limp over the line, boys. They are absolutely punishing Mount Eliza here at the moment.
They are top heavy, Dromana, but when your top 5-6 players in the competition are amongst some of the best, then on their day is probably key.
I agree there, Daz, but I think Dromana have the best role-playing side of the whole competition.
Yeah, they're 5 or 6 of the cherries, aren't they, on top of the cake?
And it's happened, when they've won premierships in the last few years, Vossi, that their role players have been the best players pretty much on the day. Or they've succeeded in their big jobs.
Well, you look at all the love that will go top level Melbourne last year, the Tom Sparrows of the world, Charlie Spargo, Alex Neil-Bullen.
Stop it.
And these guys, okay.
You've just made Chief throw up.
Oh, that's okay. It's better than a month ago. I had him cheerleading. So.
Mount Eliza, incidentally, YCW next week, and they finish off with Pines at Pines.
What does this mean? What does this mean for Mount Eliza in your mind in terms of where they sit in the ethos of the competition? Because you could probably cop a small loss. Small loss, okay, maybe they're around the mark and they need to tighten up a few things. This has been a disaster of a last quarter.
There was a game here that Sorrento played. I reckon it might have been 2019, and Sorrento were behind at three-quarter time, and they kicked about 7-0 in the last quarter against Mount Eliza about a similar time in the year. AJ, I'm not sure whether you know the game I'm talking about, but they definitely beat them here, and they kicked about 7-0 in the last quarter. So they can have these quarters there, but this is just totally, we didn't see it coming at all.
Billy Gertz, he gets a quick kick going forward. Geordie Andrews just standing under at Welsh. He rushes the ball through and we'll get a behind. Craigo, we'll head to you for some scores around the grounds with some absolute humdingers happening at the moment.
Yeah, just in Div 2, Crib Point still lead Devon Meadows.
Wow, boys.
Crib Point leading Devon Meadows.
It's a 1-point game. Hastings lead Pearsdale by a point. Somerville at home, Mornington at home, Kringle in control and Langwarrin in control. And just quickly in Div 1, it's Frankston YCW 62, Sorrento 54. 10-point game, Rosebud lead Edithvale Aspendale. Red Hill 79, Pines 61. Bond Beach 87, Frankston Bombers 47.
Boys, we lauded the Mount Eliza defence in the first three quarters, and this has been it's probably as bad a quarter that they've probably played across the whole game. But as Dromana have just put another one on the board, this is just ridiculous, this quarter, boys. But I'll just finish off by saying it hasn't been helped with the midfield and the lack of pressure and effort from Mount Eliza, but their defence have just been absolutely carved up in this quarter.
Yeah, equal numbers has been equal opportunity for Dromana. I'm with you. I am putting it on the midfield, though. You can't go from conceding 5 goals in 3 quarters to now 8 goals 1 or 8 goals 2 so far, and expect it's just been one line that's broken down. The Dromana's ability to get the ball in their forward half easier has come from a complete lack of pressure.
Jones Lapino, BOG Awards becoming a bit clearer, AJ?
Yeah, I reckon
it's done.
I've got to go with Billy Gertz. You've got to. He's been fantastic all day.
We were supposed to interview him last week. He was in the shower, the big man, and we let him go. We're going to have a chat to him this week, I think.
Boys, if Dromana kick another one, it's nearly 50 points.
Yeah, and they were down. And when before Geordie Andrews took that mark, they were... Well, were they 8 points down, and we were wondering, could they turn around a 3 quarters of slow ball movement? Well, clearly they've listened to it and gone, yes, we can, and they've gone bang, 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 haven't they? It's been extraordinary to watch.
Gentlemen, just at 3/4 time, they certainly believed Mount Eliza were a little tired, and they believed they could outrun them as well.
Oh, their beliefs have certainly rung true, Craigo. As we're going to get another stoppage. Stephen Bradle just looks perplexed there on the boundary. He can't believe what's just unfolded in front of his eyes.
I think if I try to sneak out, I'll do my best, but no promises. I have let the better half know that I mightn't be home tonight.
Okay.
At all.
Hawthorn up by 7 points. Giants up by 13, boys.
Oh, ball goes in. Mount Eliza's forward 50. Riley Davis drops a mark that he should have taken. Going back, though, is Nathan Saligo, and he'll save the day, although it won't really matter at this time of the game when you're about 7 goals up, boys.
Now Mount Eliza had no one forward of the ball and no forward structure at all. It's a complete 180 from 35 minutes ago.
To be honest, Dromana have just worked them over. Their fitness is, second to none. They've got the Gertz boys who lead that, and it's showing that they've done such a great job.
Yep, spot on. No, it's out in the full, but
Hastings could play perennial spoiler. They beat Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, and they look like, they're 1 point in front at the moment of Pearsdale.
No one tipped Hastings that's got a microphone, so that's important. So we've all got that wrong. That's, oh boy.
Devon Meadows back to within 2 points of Crib Point.
That could be the upset, not only of the year, but of a long, long time. Good hit.
So Michael West kicks a goal there for Mount Eliza. He's cramped up immediately. Not even a celebration, boys.
No, I think he's had about 5 teammates come to him, and that's about it. I think they're in shock as much as anything at the moment.
No, this has been as clinical a last quarter as you can get, considering the quality of opponent you're playing. You're the fourth side, you're playing the second side, you're playing away from home, you're behind at three-quarter time, and you've turned a 7-point deficit into a 36-point lead with only, 2 or 3 minutes to go. As Mount Eliza look to clear. Scaglarini it was, he hand passes it to himself. Now he goes with the kick towards full forward. It's going to be marked.
Should be 50.
And
pretty undisciplined, pretty silly.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's had a fantastic day today, boys.
He's
been great down back.
The second half in particular, I'll agree with you on that. He has been one that they've set up a lot of attacks through. Maybe not as much as what Dean Moore they've set up through, but Zach Masciali's been a very good player in his own right, the former Edifal Aspendale player. Might have a few mixed feelings if Edifal happen to go down this afternoon. Still don't know how that score is shaping up. I think it was a goal the difference last score we had, that getting late into that game. As Dromana with the opportunity to go forward towards full forward, but it's been marked there in defence. It's been marked there by Elliot Simmons. All margin is 3 points in the game between Rosebud and Edifal. Rosebud in control of that game at this stage, and YCW 8 points up of your side. The Sultan of Sorrento in our man AJ.
Geez, Max Morney really needed to hit that contest and break it up. Kind of sums up how they've gone in the last quarter. If we can give a bit of love to a Mount Eliza player, boys, before we pile on the love for the rest of the contest, however long it goes for. Will Antoni for mine.
Yeah,
has been the
really
best
good
for Mount Eliza the whole way through.
He's been a big focal point up forward.
Yeah, he has.
I think that's just what lacks them at the moment. Mount Eliza is a big key target up forward that can consistently kick a bag of goals.
That just sums up Mount Eliza's last quarter there. Scaglarini spun out of a couple of tackles. He got on to his right foot and he just hit that straight off the side of the boot, and it is out of bounds on the full. So the margin is 36 points. We're 25.5 minutes into the last quarter.
Tell you what, I can see Stephen Braddle's eyes from here, and he's got the dagger through the side of the van. He knows where Daz is sitting. He is not getting out of this place.
No,
unscathed.
not alive. Let me tell you.
So there may be, I don't know. I believe actually Steve Bradle, one of his pastimes is voodoo, so he might put.
You reckon my voodoo doll's got a few extra needles in it, do you, Vossi?
There could be some there.
Interesting.
You're in a bit of trouble, Daz, but
yeah, it'd be a brave man to blame me for this. Let me tell you, but hey, look,
you've blamed yourself. Like, you've put yourself in this mess. Like, we've only just agreed with it, haven't we, AJ?
Absolutely.
Yeah, not sure I'd be lining up for people to have a go at me, but
it's called character building.
It's I had plenty of that in my chef's apprenticeship. Let me tell you.
Devon Meadows, Crib Point. What's happening there?
Clearly, Vossi's checked out from this game. He's only got the Crib Point Devon on his mind.
No. I've got plenty on my mind, but it's too.
Waganya? What's the scores there?
Come on, AJ.
I'll tell you what, it's been a day where Mornington's up. And also Hawthorn have won.
No, 3 minutes to go and it's 7 points the margin.
Oh, well, hopefully they'll win. Imagine if Waganya got up.
Oh.
50-metre penalty here, boys. Dromana will kick an easy goal.
I think it's fair to say that Waganya won't win today, and it's fair to say that they're still struggling, boys.
Let's get to Crago for some scores.
Just quickly, mate. Pearsdale have kicked away from Hastings, 105 to 79. It's a 2-point game. Cribboyd still lead Devon Meadows. Karingal 10-point leaders over Chelsea at the moment. Won't rely on that score on the Langwarrin. Somerville easy winners over Seaford today.
Division 1.
And in Div 1, Red Hill 86, Pines 74. Bond Beach 88, Frankston Bombers 49. Still a 3-point game at Rosebud, and a 20-point gap, Sorrento behind Frankston YCW.
Goal put through fair there for Dromana.
Makes it 40. Yeah.
2 goals, Vossi.
2 goals. I mean, this is just falling apart for Mount Eliza, as we know, and couldn't be more impressed with Dromana.
Well, if it's 2 goals, isn't it up to 15-8 then if it's 2 goals?
I think the scoreboard will take a second, Vossi, but
They signalled the first one, Chief, did they? All right. So it's 2 goals then. So it's 15-8 to 7-8 by our man, the Chief.
Boys, Dromana, let's speak about them. They've dismantled Sorrento last week, and now they've dismantled Mount Eliza in this last quarter.
If it's 2 goals on that play, it is a 10-goal quarter.
yeah. And it's been really, really good to watch. It's been fast. It's been direct. And there's not going to be long left in this one at all. And fingers crossed for Dromana, the players.
YCW up by 20 points. Sorry, AJ.
And that'll be...
And there is the siren. That is
a dominant performance.
So we'll clarify if that was 2 goals. If it was, it's a 10-goal last quarter to come from behind and dismantle the second-placed Mount Eliza.
Yeah.
And again, to reiterate, they've beaten YC at YC and they've beaten Mount Eliza, the top 2 sides, both away from home this year.
Neither of these 2 teams have beaten the other at their home ground. As we know, Mount Eliza went to Dromana earlier in the year and came away with a 17-point win.
It's been a powerful display by Dromana in this last quarter. They're going to celebrate a very, very good victory this afternoon. We'll be back to round things up here. You're listening, thanks to Battery World of Mornington, to RPP and watching RPP FM.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Need your property painted, but you don't want to just trust any painter with your asset? Give Wow Factor Painting Solutions a call. We're based on the Mornington Peninsula and specialise in high-quality painting solutions. We are proud members of the Master Painters Victoria and the Dulux Accredited Program. For a free quotation, visit wowfactorps.com.au or call 0475 448 285. Wow Factor Painting Solutions, a station sponsor.
Battery World now open in Mornington.
We know batteries. We know our 75 D23Ls from our DIN 65 LHs. And we know which is best for you. We have the range and a spark no one else can match, because we live and breathe batteries. Those beautiful boxes and cylinders that power our lives and our passions. That's why we're the batteryologists. We're Battery World.
Battery World Shop 1, 43 Mornington Tyre Road, Mornington.
Welcome back to the Emil Madsen Reserve after a powerful last quarter by Dromana. They've had a big win this afternoon. Daz, you and I are going to just touch on some of the scores from around the grounds and just to wrap things up for this afternoon. And starting with Division 1.
Yeah, absolutely we will. So Bond Beach have gone 39-point winners, it looks like, over the Bombers. So the Bomber season's hanging by a thread, but they'll be happy with the fact that Red Hill have defeated Pines. It looks like a couple of goals there. So the Bombers get a reprieve and the Pines are all but done, it looks like now. Vossi, we've seen Mount Eliza go down here to Dromana by 48 points, 8 goals. An extraordinary last quarter there by Dromana. Rosebud have held on to a win over Edithvale Aspendale, so good for me, Vossi, considering I locked them. I was pretty nervous. And YCW have gotten over the line against Sorrento. The scores there are a touch frozen for me technologically, but we know that YCW have gotten over the line. But a really good fight back by Sorrento. They went down last week. They'd be a little bit embarrassed by that, but a good performance by them. And as we go to DIV2, before we talk about some of the implications, Kringle have gotten over the line against an inaccurate Chelsea. It's just becoming like death and taxes now, Vossi, with their inaccuracy. Devon Meadows and Crib Point, I've got here a tied score, so if that loads for someone else, that would be nice, because I don't think that game has resulted in a draw, but happy to be proven wrong.
I've got Devon Meadows as being 5 points in front in that game.
There we go. You're a bit more updated than me, Vossi. Langwarren have defeated Rye. And it looks like Mornington have gotten over Tyab. Somerville pretty easily over Seaford. Did you lock Somerville, Vossi?
I think AJ might have.
I think AJ might have, so well done to AJ. He's got that right. And hopefully you've got the Mornington Tyab scores for me, Vossi, because technology is letting me down the first time they've played since 1915. But the Bombers get a respite. There you go. 101-point victory for Mornington. Goodness gracious me. And it's been about that long since they've played each other, Vossi.
Well, I wouldn't imagine the symmetry if it was 107 in 107 years. But, the implications of today with Frankston Bombers going down, Sorrento going down, and Pines going down means the ladder stays as is 5th, 6th and 7th, which means Red Hill stay 8th. Rosebud go a game clear in 9th, and Edithvale Aspendale need a win in the last 2 games and hope that Rosebud don't win any for them to get themselves a spot in Division 1 next season. And Division 2, well, there were some interesting results, but I guess the pick of the games next week is Chelsea and Pearsdale, which is a game which will ultimately determine who's going to finish in 5th spot and who'll finish in 6th spot. But that's just about it for the roundup this afternoon, Daz.
Absolutely, it is, and we thank everyone who has listened throughout the afternoon. We'll take our final break and we will be back hopefully with the Dromana coach Matt Price and the Jones Lapino best on ground.
Deputy Mayor Eliza Dixon has come out swinging after learning that the state government has sold off public housing in Hastings. The Cerberus Ward councillor was told that the dilapidated housing was surplus to state government needs. She raised the issue as an urgent matter at council this week, stating that the decision had further eroded the Shire's emergency accommodation options. Councillor Dixon states the properties should never have been let go. For more on this story and for all of this week's news, just click the link.
Hello, it's Leigh here again with this week's RPP weather update. Well, it was a lot warmer this week than we had expected and not as wet. But that changed late last Friday when we saw some rain return. Let's dive in and see if this trend is to continue. Today, Sunday the 7th of August, saw the rain continue with rainfall over 80% of the peninsula. We had a high of 13 and a low of 6. Monday sees the rain retreating to reveal a mostly cloudy day with a high of 13 and a low of 5. Tuesday sees much the same as Monday with a high of 13 and a low of 3. And Wednesday, the 10th of August, sees a 30% chance of rain returning to the peninsula. Expect a high of 14 and a low of 3. Thursday sees the rain returning in force with a 70% chance of intense rain across the peninsula. Expect a high of 13 and a low of 7. Friday brings even more rain with a top of 14 and a low of 7. And finally, Saturday sees the rain easing a bit, bringing us a high of 14 and a low of 6. Well, that's all for this week. Nicola will be back next week, so until then, please take good care, enjoy your week, bye for now.
Everyone knows Australia has 4 big banks, but the 5th biggest retail bank is snapping at their heels. It's a bank that's been around for over 160 years, can be found in over 500 locations nationwide, looks after over 1.8 million customers, and is regularly voted one of the most trusted brands out of all the thousands of brands in Australia. Who is this fantastic number 5? Yep, it's Bendigo Bank. The better big bank.
More and more people with a taste for quality are shopping at Eliza Meats. Kevin and his lean team pride themselves on the finest cuts, from juicy steaks and roasts to high-grade mince and sausages. And Eliza Meats are the gourmet specialists. Inquire about Eliza Meats Spit Hire. Phone 9787 4473 for a mouth-watering meal fit for a king. It's all at Eliza Meats. See our sponsor Kevin at Eliza Meats, 112B Mount Eliza Way, a station sponsor.
Bill, fantastic effort in the last quarter, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was really good. I guess our hard work kind of paid off over the day, and we were able to kick a few towards the last quarter. It was really good.
And Matt, what did Matty say at 3/4 time? Was it just use your run and your fitness?
Yeah, a little bit, because I mean we felt like we had a lot of the ball in the third quarter, but we were just probably not carrying it enough to hit a high half forward, so we get a bit deeper. So it was just probably be a little bit more aggressive with the run, hang on to the ball a little bit longer. And that option will open up. So
it's pretty handy when you got the most dominant ruckman in the competition, just ferning at the end of the midfield.
Mate, we're pretty blessed out here, that's for sure. Makes our job easy.
Oh, absolutely. And then you've just got another midfielder when he's running around after it.
Yeah, I know. No, he's crazy, but he works hard and gets after it every day, and
he's pretty happy with himself. But I just said off air that your old man was listening up in Darwin, just having a couple of cold ones. He'd be pretty happy with this.
More than a couple, I think. Yeah, he loves it. Absolutely loves it. He wish he was here, but no, he loves his footy.
He's been a good support for you, hasn't he?
Yeah. No, sometimes he gets a bit too excited, but no, he supports me every step of the way, and I love him for that.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. Well, congratulations on the win, and I'm sure you guys are going to go pretty far in the finals once again. It's a Dromana thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, thanks. No, we love this time of the year, and the hard work kind of pays off, and it's good to be playing some good footy this time of year.
Beautiful, mate. Cheers.
Mate. Thanks, AJ.
Now we've got the Jones Lupino Best on Ground Billy Gertz. So we owe you a couple of these, Bill, because we forgot the last one. But another dominant display from yourself. But I tell you what, the midfielders will be pretty happy when you're palming it down to them like that.
Well, yeah, I just try and do my best to give it to the boys' advantage, and then they do the rest. So they make me look good when they can get it out nice and easy. But yeah, it's good. It's good to have them.
I'll just ask Bill the same question about what Matty said at 3/4 time, but it's obviously worked, hasn't it?
Yeah, Matty's been awesome. He just doesn't get too panicked when we're in a situation like down by goal 3/4 time. Just nice and easy. And yeah, just keep doing what we do best and just try and correct what we've done wrong so far up until that point, and we were able to, and get on the scoreboard a little bit more.
Absolutely, and your own form, mate, has been fantastic, and you've set yourself as one of the premier big men in the competition. But tell us about how you do it, because you're big into your fitness with your brothers as well. Is that really paying off?
Yeah, well, it helps when the two older brothers run a gym, and it's just down the stairs in my garage, so I just go down there. And most of the boys around the club are there as well, so it's easy to put in that sort of work away from the footy club, and then when we're at the footy club, just trying to get the boys up and about all the time and just put in all the best work I can.
And it's pretty easy to call the Dromana games, because most of the time you just call Gertz, and it's very likely that you're going to have the footy. But I spoke to your uncle a couple of weeks ago. He said there's a few more coming through the ranks.
There he is. We got Tommy Gertz, our cousin, who should be up next year, as well as our youngest brother Toby, who should be up as well, hopefully. So.
And let's speak about your young brother Josh. He's been fantastic this year, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was awesome. He's been awesome, and he was in and out of the side at the start of the year, but now he's sort of locked himself in as like one of our awesome midfielders, and he played awesome today, kicked 2 great goals, so yeah, I'm just happy to have him in the team.
Beautiful, mate. Well, all the best for the last couple of games and into the finals.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, lads.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.
And we're just going to wrap it up now. All the listeners, it's been a fantastic day down in Mount Eliza. Can't believe the final result.